Alrighty, hopefully that is now live. Welcome everybody to the VFL Sunday stream. Let us know if that's coming through okay in chat. We're just trying a different program, so we'll, a little bit of trial and error, but we'll see how we go. Hopefully everybody is doing well for the Josh Smiley debut, which is very, very exciting. Just let us know in chat, is it coming through okay? This is my first time using OBS on YouTube, so I never typically use OBS. It's always through StreamYard, which is what me and the guys use for our normal shows. But we're having a crack at... I'm having a crack at trying to set it up on YouTube direct through OBS because I think that I can have a few more things automated, which might make our lives easier when we do a big group one for a main game. I've just got to then work out how to get everyone's cameras across, probably via Discord, I reckon, Grok. How are you, mate? Good to see you're in the house. Sean, welcome. James Racing, welcome. So the graphic, how good's little graphic, by the way? So the scoreboard, Mrs. Michaels made the scoreboard for me late last night, which was good. And the background is actually done by someone on Big Footy who was kind enough to reach out and to help with some graphic stuff. So hopefully we'll see a bit more in that space as we get on. Just for full clarity, we cannot stream the game on the screen. So we'll all have to watch the game on our own screens. But we can obviously not commentate, but like special comments and talk about it and stuff like that. But yeah, we are, for legal reasons and copyright reasons, we aren't allowed to show the game on our stream. I'd love to be able to. It would be good. So if you want to watch the game, if you go to the AFL website and then you change the drop down on the top left from Toyota Premiership Season to VFL, it should then, you'll have, you'll then have all the VFL games for the round. Click on Richmond versus Brisbane, and it'll have Watch Now. It'll have Watch Now on there, and it'll just load up the stream as per what I've got on here in the background. So, yeah, AFL app. Yep. So AFL website and or app is where you need to go to stream it. So make sure you do that. But what are we all expecting from Josh Smiley today? Obviously, his first game in the yellow and black, which is very, very exciting. You can sort of see the crowd piling in a little bit, and it's a punt road. This is going to be one of the most watched VFL games for quite some time, I reckon. Jonty Fall, Grok, yeah, good call on Jonty Fall. What's the expectation? I mean, are we thinking that Smiley's going to play a half, 3/4? Is it just full game? Like, has he been conditioning himself to be able to play a full game? What does everyone reckon? But yeah, Jonty Fall, I think Harry Armstrong is maybe coming to the end of his 4-week stint. But that's if they're doing that. I might be wrong. But this is where, yeah, potentially that Jonty Fall or Tom Sims, I know Forster's out concussed, but yeah, this is where they can maybe start to make a name for themselves. Grok's wanting 40 disposals, 10 clearances, 8 tackles and 4 goals. Very good. Get through, kick a goal, play 3/4. I do like widescreen reckon 3/4 as well. I do like that they have named him just in the guts, straight off the bat, no messing around. So I think that's always pretty good to see. RFC Centre, welcome. Sean, no expectations to see him out there will be great, agree. Stephen, good call on Ralph Smith too. Now, the other thing I just want to say quickly, the only other thing I can't do while using OBS at this point in time is I can't put your chat messages up on screen. I think there is a plugin I can get to be able to do that down the track, but I just wanted to see how it works, and then I'll work out the other sexier, slicker parts later on. I can obviously read all your comments, I just can't pop them up like I usually would on StreamYard, but we'll work through that. Trouter, 50 to 75% game time. As the whole last quarter off the ground, possibly. Richmond Brotherhood, hey, how are you, mate? What's going on? Thank you for your Facebook technical support as I was spam banned. Interesting, it's a good point you make, Grok, that there's no VFL next week. But we've got Smiley starting in the guts as per the team lineup, which is really good. That's Samson Ryan. It's hard because like some of the footage is a little bit grainy anyway, but I'm sure this might actually be better synced than what our normal AFL games are because we're all watching from the same streaming service, I reckon. So the balls are about to be put down by the umpire. Smiley in the guts. You love to see it. You just want, we've already, won a free kick. Hang on. All our Christmas has come at once. Samson Ryan gets the first inside 50 for the game. Good to see Morris down there. Oh, Morris just whizzing through the pack on the board early. Morris Rioli Jr. That's what you want to see from your small forwards. I think it was Sims that might have brought it to ground. Very good. Oh, I better push my button here. Hang on, let's see if this works. Hey, there we go. The auto scoreboard works. Giddy up. That's a good start. Morris Rioli, another who I thought was maybe a little bit unlucky not to get a look in this week. It felt like that he or Jasper Alga were a chance to come in with Mansell being out, but they've obviously gone for Sam Banks. But yeah, Morris Rioli, bang, off to an absolute flyer, a goal within the first minute. Oh, thank you for Alexander. Thank you for subscribing. I think that's what that alert was. I was setting up random shit last night, so if anyone is watching that hasn't subscribed to the channel, feel free to hit the button so I can see what that does. I'm pretty sure that's what I think that was. So that was you, Alexander. I appreciate subscribing. Samson Ryan juking it out in the ruck. Oh, Smiley nearly gets his hand on the ball. Jesus. How nervous do you reckon he would be? Oh, it was the Lions. That is a munged kick. Oh, it's just missed though. Yeah, I know RC, you were pretty big on Rioli coming in, and fair enough too. I think there's still, and I might be optimistic with this, but I still think there's a role for him to play in a midfield rotation as well. I know I've probably banged on about that for a little while, as Campbell Gray makes some distance and kicks it long, but straight to the Brisbane Lions. But yeah, I reckon Rioli's got multiple roles to play for us within the side as Campbell Gray takes a really nice intercept mark down in defence. How was that play on though? Jesus. Wide screens at the ground, about 500 people. I reckon it's going to keep filling up. He is good up the ground, Grok. It is true, but we just need that point of difference in the guts, don't we? Oh, Ryan, you've got to at least put your arms in the air there, mate. You're about 210 centimetres. Don't be afraid to chuck the hands in the air, although we've got a boundary throw in, so that's not so bad. Agree, early confidence will be good. Dabo, is that right? Steve Morris pumped him up, as he should. I mean, Smiley's just ripped his head off. His first bit of action, he's given away a high free kick. Wouldn't be good for the Supercoach numbers. He'd be on a negative, but he's shown clear intent early that he's going to be throwing his weight around. He's a big boy. But even for Jake Batchelor, how exciting for him to be able to have him in his side. He absolutely coat-angered him, didn't he? He's just overexcited, old Smiley. Yeah, RFC, I'm with you. I want Seth in the middle as well at some point. Johnny, no shoes. It was a fraction high as he's gone for a smother. Elnor, not bad down in defence as well. Oh, good mark, Jasper. Quickly gets it inside 50. Geez, that might go in. Sims. Oh, who? Oh, no, he's missed it. There must be for those who are at the ground, I mean, looking at the trees, there must be a breeze heading down towards that end of the ground where we're kicking at the moment, because that seemed to carry from about 75 metres. He must have just put it to the wrong side. I thought that actually went through, but yeah, he obviously put it to the wrong side of the sticks. Sandra, thank you for the follow, much appreciated. I'm not sure why it says Munster. I've got to fix that. Jones Racing, he's stuck 15 seconds ahead. I'm not sure. Yeah, I would love to understand a bit more how that works. How good am I going? I've spent 5 hours automating the scores so I can just do it at a touch of a button, and then I forget to push the button when a score happens. Free kick in the middle of the grounds. Yeah, like I actually thought that we would be all closer to being on the same page, being it's all streamed from the AFL website, but I suppose different bandwidths and everything like that might come into play. Inside 50 we go. Oh, good grab. Is that Samson? Samson Ryan takes a nice grab inside 50, and that's probably the part of his game that people are most critical about is his aerial prowess with marking the ball up forward. And it's why he's maybe viewed as not a viable option as a forward at AFL level. If he can get that into his game on a more consistent basis, you just never know. As Samson Ryan strolls in, the camera's nowhere near him at the moment, so I've got no idea what's happened here. He slotted the goal. Samson Ryan on the board for his first major for the day. Yeah, no, Mrs. Michaels put together the scoreboard last night, which was good. Very good grab from Samson. And good finish as well. What does he have to do to get into the senior side? I know, Kane, you asked why did we give him a 3-year contract. I think, without knowing, as Ralph Smith is on the wing here, without knowing for certain, you have to feel like the club really believe in his ability to be a ruckman going forward. Like, you don't offer a 3-year contract for someone to just play in the VFL, right? That doesn't make sense. I think for him, it's just about, and look, I still believe that he's only just entering the age where ruckmen start to come into their own. And I know I might be living in hope there, and I'll cop that on the chin, but he's still very young in ruckman years. But he does need to start showing a bit more on a consistent basis, and his pre-season form was sounding okay from what we were reading and seeing, but it just needs to translate to AFL level. Nah, not able to get to the game today, Paul. You heading along as we work our way down the wing? RFC, to be fair, he had no competition for that mark. Need him to be better when he's going up against his opposing ruckman. I mean, that's almost 50 for Samson. He's pushed forward and taken another mark, so he's actually doing the things we want him to do, which is good. But I suppose the question then becomes, can he do it across the 4 quarters? Richmond Brotherhood, I kind of agree. As Samson Ryan is... oh, Jesus, that was flying. Look, while Nank's captain, unfortunately, Samson's going to struggle to really get into the side because they're not going to drop Nank, obviously, which is fair enough. He's our spiritual leader and our captain. So he, as someone mentioned earlier, he's kind of relying on Nank to either get injured, suspended, or retire. As Hugo Rollsmith lays a great tackle on the wing for holding the ball. So you just can't help but feel though that you don't give someone 3 years if you don't think they're going to play a part in your future. It would be very poor management. Herbert, how are you, mate? He's just, oh no, Elnils with a bad kick, bad turnover. Samson Ryan, 2 marks you wouldn't read about, and a goal. Morris, oh jeez. And Mark, I think you're right. It's confidence at the level, isn't it? You've got to believe you belong. And that's my concern with players like Tyler Sonsie as well, who keep getting played in the wrong spot, is my argument. And he doesn't get that same continuity or belief that he belongs because he's not playing in the position that he's best at. So he's playing for survival when he comes in as opposed to playing with dash and dare like you see him in the VFL. It wasn't a great kick inboard. The wind might have dragged it. I don't want to make excuses, but maybe it dragged it. Nice little side step from McKenzie. Can we hit a target inside 50? Great kick. Jasper Elgar. He plays tall. I'm a huge Jasper Elgar fan. Keep him for Tassie, the champ starting forward ruckman. Gee, you're already trying to ship him off, Grok. Damien, I think Bolton... Does Bolton miss one more? I'm pretty sure he misses the Fremantle game. And he's back after that. As Jasper Elgar comes in 48 metres out on a tight angle for a behind. But yeah, I'm claiming Elgar as my man. I think we'll see him sooner rather than later. I agree, RFC, and I reckon he's going to be a gun. As Caesar, I think, once said on Punt Road End, it's hard to see him not making it, if that makes sense. He's just got so many AFL-looking traits, Jasper, that, yeah, it's hard to not like him. Is Bolton next week? So he's back for the Freo game. I thought he missed the Freo game. That's good if he's back next week. The question becomes, though, Oh, Jesus, got to get that over the line. That's shit-house defending. Zero awareness. I reckon he actually thought we were going to get pinged for holding the ball, and he just slowed down. He needed to either rush it through there, or get it moving. That's a really bad goal to concede. That gives me vibes of when Nank Bolter and someone else couldn't spoil the ball over the line on the goal line against the Lions. Okay, so right, Bolter back next week. Interesting. So what will be interesting as well is do we play him straight off the bat, or do we wait until all the legal stuff plays out? It sounds like Uze's keen to get him back in. I don't think opposition players will say much to Bolter. I think it'll just be the fans that do, and he'll obviously be well aware that that's happening and understanding of, yeah, it is what it is. I really don't think the Oppo supporters will do anything. Players, sorry, I don't think they'll do anything. Dario, how are you, mate? The stream for the game, Dario, was on the AFL website. So if you go to the AFL website and go to the VFL section, like the match center for VFL, and click on our game, there'll be a Watch Now tab, and that'll be your ticket in. Smiley's back on the ground. Yet to get a disposal. He's given away a high free kick, though. Well, and Andrew, to your point with the crowd reaction, I'm actually equally as interested to see what the Richmond fan crowd reaction will be to him. And like, I know that's surely holding the man. I know none of us agree with what he did. It was horrible, and I don't want to go into it because it's still a bit to play out, but obviously it was not nice. He's done his time, though, and legally he'll do whatever the punishment is there as well. There's honestly a part of me that hopes that as Richmond supporters, we wrap our arms around him, and I don't want us to be doing, as we get a Joe the Goose out the back. Very nice goal. I don't want us to do what Essendon are doing to Mackay and Bronx cheering him, because I just don't think that's the right way to go about it. But everyone's going to have different views, I suppose. Massimo Razzo with a sausage roll, as RFC Centre said. On Razzo, he looks like he will be AFL bound very shortly, the mid-season draft. Now, and Herbert, you're alluding to the point that I'm about to get to. How we have to find a way to manufacture to get Massimo Razzo. We've missed out on Durden. We missed out on Dean Brozer we kind of let slip. Obviously Sam Davidson, but that was a bit circumstantial. The problem we've got at the moment, we don't actually have a list spot or a pick to be able to get him. So we need to, I don't know how we can do that. Like, you don't want a long-term I won't say the word, to happen. But that's only one way, or someone retires early. Smiley, does he get a disposal? He's been pinged, holding the ball. 2 frees against so far for Smiley. The young man just easing his way into it. That's a shithouse kick, though, from the Brisbane player. Smiley could be on through the middle if they come back in board. Could still be on. Here he is, Smiley with his first disposal. Releases the handball. Inside 50 we go. For behind. So yeah, we have to either find someone to retire, and look, I don't want to throw people under the bus, but does Dion Prestia, if his injury is persistent and nagging, does he look to do a Sean Grigg and free up a spot, which is how we got Marlon Pickett back in the day? I know people have said Kalina as well, but I personally think that Kalina deserves a proper year at it, because I think we heavily mismanaged his injury for the first couple of years. And I don't think it's fair on him, because he gave up a lot to come and do this. And I know we've got to put the club first as well, but he has shown glimpses and traits that he could be okay. And I think we owe it to him and us to make sure that we give him a proper year uninterrupted to see what he's got, if he can make it at the level. Is it our home game? It is. It is our home game. Sorry, Richmond brother, I saw you say before, I'm not going to gather around. Although Herbert and I were potentially driving some footballs down there, but I don't think that's going to eventuate somehow. Keep Prestia around for more reports. See, I've heard different reports, RFC. I've heard that he's struggling a bit more with it than what maybe is being led on. Could be totally off the mark, though. I think that's going to be... Oh, good mark there on the wing. That'll be the interesting piece, I think. Bolter's contract won't be voided, Phonics. He'll be playing either next week or the week after. As we go inside 50, Sims raises the Dukes and can't pull it in. Yeah, it's so hard because obviously we all love Dion Prestia, what he did for the club. Amazing stalwart, and if it is his last year, whether it happens mid-season or end of year, I really hope he does get back to play a game or 2 or 3. Yeah, because I think he deserves that. I kind of disagree, so I think Colleen has shown some good little bits when his back's been right. And he was a 3 or 4 year project. But you've got to remember that he had chronic back issues that were severely mismanaged for 1.5 to 2 of those years. So there's not much he can really do in that sense. That's why I think we need to see a proper year of him playing to make a final call. That's a good point, Herbert, on Gibcus. They're obviously being ultra cautious with his return to football. Maybe if it doesn't keep progressing how they like, maybe they bite the bullet and long-term injury list him. That'd be so shit, though. I understand why, like, how it can also benefit by getting Razzo, but just from Gibcus's perspective, that'd be so shit. Because, like, our backline starts to look really nice when Gibcus comes back. The other one I think who could be in trouble is going to be Tyler Young. So Tyler Young, I think when everyone's fit and available, I can't see him squeezing back into the side, but it does provide good depth. But then you've got, there's a bit of a high bump. As we go inside 50 again, I think someone said there's a 3-goal breeze. Oh, the line just spilled that. Put some pressure on. Oh. I really hate how we just run past the guy with the ball to follow the runners instead of going at the guy with the footy. Yeah, Mean obviously butchered a few things, didn't he? Unfortunately. Inside 50 again. Oh, Ryan got blocked out of that, I reckon. He did, yeah. Samson Ryan, he got the... Oh, playing advantage. Who scored it? No, they bring it back. Yeah, the second player in line there for the Lions just body checked Samson Ryan as he was trying to make a run and jump for that. So the fact he's taken a couple of marks early, maybe he's turned the heat up on him. Tough angle for Samson Ryan. He's almost on the footpath here. Does have okay goal kicking ability though, it must be said. He's kicked that one to the near side for a behind. Good question on Jonty Fall here, but I haven't actually seen him yet. Has anyone seen Jonty Fall? What number is Jonty Fall? I can't remember what number he is. Wait, is that him there? Is he 26? Oh, that's a bad drop mark. Oh, Hayes Brown just lumbering Ruckman. Oh, good attack from the ball from the Brisbane Lions player there. Morris is hunting. The Lions are on a very quick... That's a shocking kick. Oh, no. Giving away a free kick downfield. Oh, no, it's come back. Yeah, I just saw Jonty in a fleeting moment go past up forward. As the Lions get a shot on goal, I think it might have been Morris Jr. who took him down after the kick. Brisbane might need to bring on the barometer. He's still doing a podcast with Mitch Robinson. Matheson. He's still a big unit too. Gee, that's holding up in the breeze, isn't it? Good spoil for a behind. We're definitely going to the kicking end currently. Yeah, good call, RC. The chase... It must be hard for someone like Morris and any quick players when they're coming off hamstring or calf injuries with how explosive they are naturally as the player type, that they just want to chase, but there must be that element of doubt, you reckon, at times, don't you? But no, good signs from him as we head down to the wing. He's dropped the ball. That's 50. What an idiot. Given away a free kick to Hayes Brown and he put the ball on the ground. And we've seen our AFL players do that so many times, and it's the most infuriating thing in the world, because just hand the ball back to the player. Don't put it on the ground, just hand it back. Snack pack a bit too far out, I reckon, or he's going to give it a bit of a roost. To the top of the square. Jonty Fall flies, no luck. Jasper Elga harassing at ground level, but the Lions are going to work it out. Oh, good pressure. Tom McCarthy applying some pressure. Oh, I got the free kick. Is it last touch in VFL? What do we reckon of the snack pack, folks? Is he going to make it? He's still a very young project player. Potentially we see him later in the year, if Nate needs a rest or something like that. Didn't even register a score there. No good. Not sure why we actually had a shot from that spot. I would have probably rather to kick to the hot spot. That's out in the full back the other way. Good mark though. Who was that? Harry Scott. Great mark over the top. Got to kick this a bit more centrally. Oh, Samson nearly clunked it. Oh, it's the Dacos, the Dacos rule. Yeah, very good. Can someone explain the snack pack nickname? I think just because it's... Oh, Samson Ryan pushes out the ruck and the full. Just because it's 3 words, Oliver Hayes Brown. Is there anything else to it? Or is there something else in there? So it is just to play an HSP. Yeah. Agree, Johnny. We want to see some more strength from Samson in the packs. Good spoil, Hugo. And I actually find that sometimes people are maybe extra critical of Samson Ryan in those pack situations, but reality is that not many forwards are going to mark that, right? It's a very difficult mark to take, but people seem to slap him a fair bit for it, which is sometimes a bit harsh. Wonder how many quarters Hugo Ralsmith is going to play today as well. He'll be a welcome return. I know we've spoken about on the Monday show our lack of speed everywhere. So having Hugo Ralsmith come back in will be a very welcomed addition, I reckon. As Collier brings the ball back in, plenty going out of bounds. Samson Ryan. I don't think he touched that first, but that's a great attack of the ball by Samson Ryan and a good mark. It's paid, but I don't reckon he got first hands on it. This is what you want to see, though. He's got his confidence up, I reckon, at least attacking the contest. Agreed, Jones Racing. Chowder and Grot. Prime Carey. Needs to convert here, though, to make it worthwhile. Goes back, and he's missed. That wind must be a little bit tricky. Disappointing for him. Krause putting a lotto ticket on Samson Ryan taking marks inside 50. Yeah, 1 goal 3, not a good return. I mean, if that ends up being 2 goals 1 or 3 goals straight, all of a sudden he's bashing down the door, isn't he? But this is the kind of pressure that we need him to be applying to players like Bauer and Armstrong. And I know that might seem harsh because they're both very young kids. Smiley goes in for another tackle. No, well done. Yeah, because we've got to put pressure on our forwards to be really competitive in games. And at the moment, Samson Ryan's been ultra competitive as Smiley wins a holding the ball free kick and goes inside 50 with a long raking kick. Oh, Elga pushed off it there. Oh, good chase. Turns over at the half-forward line. Hugo Rollsmith launches one from 50 out in the full. I agree. Should be about 5 goals up here. Like, it's all good and well attacking as much as we are for this quarter, but you've got to make the most of it, don't you? For those at the ground, how strong is that wind out there? It looks like it's strong. Agree, Trouter. If you're marking that pocket, I reckon you're better off hitting it right to the center of the 50. Just hit it straight to the hot spot. Morris. Oh, Morris, that's a throw. Indecisive. Got to make a decision there, Rioli. He either had to release the handball or put his foot down on the accelerator and get out of trouble. He had the handball options though, Grock, I agree. As the Lions just chip it around to try and drain out the clock for the first quarter. Mark, not that strong, kind of pops out AK, so it's a little bit inconsistent. Got to be careful moving on the mark here. He's going to get done. Gee, they must be a bit more leaning on stand and VFL level than they are at AFL. Even Smiley's moving. Righto, Mark. Little gusts here and there. Okay. Oh, that is a shocking kick. He's tried to pull that into the pocket and just butchered it. If anyone's on the fence line there, give us a wave. Oh, God, that was dangerous on you. Tom Sim setting himself. Samson Ryan there as well. Punched out of bounds. That was a terrible kick from the Lions player. Smiley, good releasing handball. Get rid of it though, whoever that is. So I don't know who half the VFL players are. Apologies. We are just on Smiley Watch, just quietly. Good tackle. That's better, Rioli. Get the handball out. First option. Got to get it moving, though. Got to get it moving. Oh, unlucky. Jonty Fall, unlucky. He seems to have that composure, doesn't he, RFC? It's interesting, isn't it? Because if you take a look at Sam Lawler and Luke Traynor, it feels like that they've got that same type of level of composure, and we're seeing it at the highest level. Like, they don't seem flustered when they got the ball in hand, which is good. So good signs from Smiley early. A couple of big tackles, but Richmond Brotherhood, Smiley and Hugo Watch agree, and Morris Watch, and even Samson's put his name up into the lights for a bit of a watch. Inside 50 we go. Siren's going to be very close, I imagine. Oh, Samson Ryan. I know that was uncontested. He's passing it off, though. Will it pay off? That is shithouse. Collier did get smashed, but I reckon he spoilt the ball fairly. Samson, see, this is the thing. When you start kicking 1 goal 3, you start to doubt yourself from a goal-kicking perspective. Needed to go back and just try and slot that. He's a big man who's got forward craft. I reckon he's got to try and kick that instead of pass it off. That's a bit disappointing. Is that Sims in the ruck there? Smiley. Good releasing handball again. Good vision while being tackled. Greystoke, VFL umpiring is better to watch than AFL in general. That's not a bad shout. I would have to agree with you so far based on what we've seen. Even the common sense flexibility on the stand rule, like there might be a small shuffle, but they're not. Oh, good mark. Is that Cozzy? They're not pinging them for just small little shuffles. It's probably flirting with danger. But no, I agree. Ben, love watching the new recruits playing. Hope we have a plan to retain them in years to come when the contracts are up. Yeah, I definitely understand your point there. Lions go inside 50 for a very easy goal. Um, the one thing I'll say, Ben, is Blair Hartley, I think, has proven himself to be in elite areas in this particular part of the club in terms of contract negotiation. Like the way that, so the way I look at it is if you go back 4, 5, 6 years, we were able to have Dusty, Koch, Jack, Lynch, Edwards, Prestia, Rance. Like we were able to have all of those guys on the books all at once, right? Who are all arguably A grade players. So that's what 7 or 8 players that we're able to juggle with a smaller salary cap. So I feel confident that we'll be able to replicate that again in just a 2.0 version once all these guys kick on, assuming they all develop and get on with it as we hope. So I feel confident that we've got runs on the board, yeah, with managing contracts that way with the star power that we had. Um, so I'm not fearful of that at all. The question sort of more becomes how much capacity do we have to then bring in free agents or traded players? Obviously, there was some speculation with Harley Reid. We might put our hand in the hat in the ring for that. Obviously, Ed Richards is about to re-sign, which is a bit of a shame. I was hoping we'd have a crack there. But yeah, so it probably becomes more about who else can we fit in. I don't hold any fears on being able to retain our own players, though. Yeah, Hawks did go after Blair. You're right, Jones Racing. Hey, honestly, Blair Hartley is almost the most important person at our club currently. Like, we obviously need all of our development coaches and fitness conditioning staff. Serple's probably another one who's probably one of the most important people at the club. But in terms of setting the list up for the future, yeah, Rye Geishan, Blair Hartley, and the recruiting team are almost the most important players at this stage with what picks we're going to be having. And obviously, Chris Toshay last year, as we sort of said on the podcast a few times, we always felt that this was going to be, oh, that's a great mark inside 50 from the Lions. As we sort of felt last year that the draft just gone, we always thought it was going to be a Chris Toshay legacy draft. And so far, so good, I reckon. He had his fingerprints all over this. Yeah, red time goals seems to be a constant issue in AFL and VFL level. Richmond Brotherhood, yeah, Livingston, that's a good shout too. Been very good as well. I think one of the big people we might miss, Barm. I think Neil Barm was obviously a very, very big part of why we got back on track. And he's obviously at Adelaide now, which is a little bit annoying. But they were hunting him for years. And yeah, I don't know if we've technically replaced that role, but I know that he probably hasn't been at the club in a full capacity for a year or two now. So it's maybe not as big of a hole as what it would be if a full-time role just went bang to not being there, if that makes sense. Missed it. And this, oh, that's the siren as well. So I can't hear shit. Quarter time in the score 3-6, 24 for the Tigers, 2-3, 15 for the Lions. Very inaccurate kicking. Bit of inconsistent wind there, as we've heard from Mark. But it's a shame that Samson Ryan didn't make the most of some of those chances. You know, if you're a couple more goals ahead, with now Brisbane having the wind, you probably feel a bit better about yourself. Disorder, Big Smill looks a specimen. He does, doesn't he? Big unit. I wonder, there's been like random speculation that he's gotten taller. Like I know we drafted him at 195 centimeters, but I know what some people are like. They like to just take the piss a little bit with the player heights for a bit of a laugh. But someone mentioned they thought he was maybe up to 197, 196, something like that. So he's a big unit. And if he can, like, it'll only be a matter of time before he transforms his body to look ripped as what Lawler does, I guess. Sean Price, Smiley looks like Brian Wood. Jones Racing, if Barn wants to trade for our players, he can bring the Monte Carlos he wants, the Chocolate Royals. Vertex, he's going all right. He gave away a couple of free kicks early. He ripped someone's head off with his first tackle, got done for holding the ball afterwards, but he's had good disposal. He's got good awareness, good composure, so he's ticking some boxes so far. Goat, I reckon he plays 3 quarters. Chris Herbert, when do you think we will see all 8 of the draftees play in the same team for the first time? Lawler, Smiley, Fall, Houghton, Trainer, Armstrong, Sims, and Elgar. It's a good call. It's a good question. I reckon Our best chance is clearly in the last 5 or 6 games of the season, because we've obviously got to account for Taj Hotton's not going to be seen until about May, June with his ACL. But the rest of them could all play now. So the other risk you run is that Smiley and Trainer maybe tire as the season gets on potentially. But I've got no doubt we'll see Sims, Elgar, and Fall at some stage during the season in a 4-week block. But Houghton could be the one, folks. You know, it's hard not to get excited about him when even you hear players at the club talking about how highly touted he is, and even Sam Lawler said that he as in Houghton could have gone number 1 had he not injured himself. That's pretty exciting. So if he lives up to that hype, and you don't want to put pressure on the kid because he's not even played a game yet, hasn't even had a full training session yet, but geez, he looks impressive. And yeah, I really, really hope he comes on. Craig says, Steve Morris will be the next Neil Balm of the Tigers. Yeah, I think Steve Morris is really highly rated, isn't he, internally? That's a good call. Josh Fennell, we should be 5 goals up. Agree. Smiley looks good with some nice extractions. Agree on that as well, mate. Agree. Vertex, if I was to guess disposals, I'm going to be saying 4 or 5. What is my guess? Daria, you just heard this is the last game at Punt Road as the redevelopment starts. Correct. This is the last Punt Road game. And then all of our VFL home games will be at Beaconsfield, which is where we do a pre-season. We do like a training camp up here every pre-season as well. So we'll be at Beaconsfield, which is handy for me because it's quite close. Richmond Brotherhood, I think Neil's role at Adelaide is board sit. Okay, it's not footy department, right. He's still a good influence though, isn't he? Like, awesome operator. Awesome operator. Smiley, 5 disposals, 2 tackles, thank you, Jones Racing. And he also, one of the tackles resulted in holding the ball too, which was good. When's Houghton going to play, Sean? I reckon Taj Houghton will be seen in about May. So I think he did his ACL in, well, it was the 2nd or 3rd game for the year in Coates League. So that's about April, May. And I know Serple has said that all the ACL boys will sit out the full 12 months. I know Juddy Clark has just started to do some work, as has McKelty Lafau. But they won't be full-blown training until the full year's up. I'm truthfully really excited for Taj Houghton. To me, I'm kind of hoping he becomes our Shane Edwards, and I know that's a really big ask of someone who's not had a full training session yet, but in terms of our midfield dynamic and someone who can then go half forward, I reckon he will have X factor. I hope he becomes, and this is not a knock on Shea Bolton because he was a wonderful player for us, but I reckon Bolton, if we were all being honest with ourselves, was very inconsistent. And I'm hoping that Houghton becomes Bolton plus more in terms of just doing it better for longer, is what I'm hoping. Trainer was easily a top 10 pick. Agree. He was always out of he and Taru as the best defenders of the class, but people just got spooked with the head. I'm going to say head knocks because I'm actually not too sure how serious it all was, to be totally honest. How long is the redevelopment meant to take? Yeah, I don't know. I truthfully haven't heard much about that, to be honest, Richo. It's a good question. We'll try and find out. Mark says Prestia with the coaches and coaching Smiley and Hugo. That's what you love to see, isn't it, Mark? That's where there's going to be still value for Prestia, which he has said he wants to get into coaching too. Craig, Adelaide just having Balm will give them something. Yeah, he just has that, dare I say, aura about him. Didn't want to really have to use that word, but I did. Mark, so Presti's one-on-one with Smill, giving him tips. Yeah, you love to see it. Richmond Brotherhood, is Taj expected to play this year? I would be expecting him to. Maybe more so VFL level. So let's assume that he starts back up full training in, let's say, mid-May, end of May, whatever it might be. Maybe he starts playing VFL June, July, potentially, because he's obviously going to have to, not that he's not working on his fitness now, but they'll have to make sure they condition him properly and get almost a mini pre-season into him to get him up to speed. But yeah, I reckon I'd be hoping to see him in the VFL sort of towards the end of July, early August, and I would love to see him jag a couple of games in the AFL at the end of the year. And look, a lot of it may depend on how we're tracking as a team as well. But look, you would like to think there's room to fit him into the side. Yeah, Jake Batchelor, coach of the twos. Thank you, Sean. I did see someone, Vertex. Yeah, Jake Batchelor is the coach, as Sean mentioned. Oh, second quarter started. Gee, Gee, they didn't cut back to that very cleanly, did they? Oh, second quarter's underway, folks. Bolton often looked like he didn't care at times. He did. He definitely did last year, Grock, and obviously now we probably realise it was a bit of a byproduct of maybe he was already thinking about his next move and where he was going to be and things like that. So hopefully we don't have the same thing happen with Tash Houghton. Good mark inside 50 from the Lions early. Sean, they redevelop punt rate every 2 years. It feels like that, doesn't it? You'd love to see him just, do the one big redevelopment, get it into a good spot where they can host a few games. Maybe not of... It's hard because I think, is the grand plan to be able to have like AFL games there? Like if we were playing Gold Coast or GWS or something like that. I'm not too sure if that's the master plan. Richmond to go in a favourite for round one next year, Jones Racing. Jeez, it's interesting, isn't it? Like, as the weeks go on, it seems more and more remarkable that we even won that game. And just the fact that we got the monkey off the back is such a nice thing because, as Herbert knows, we were talking about this at work quite a bit, that we were genuinely looking at maybe not winning a game for 10 or 11 weeks. We were trying to work out when the first win was coming from. So yeah, to get that first one done was good. Herbert says, Duff Titler booted 2 goals from 26 disposals, 8 clearances, 4 marks, and 14 hitouts against Lewis Emmett, top 10 ruckman this year. Yeah, I reckon that... Oh, good mark by Jonty Fall, who just got smashed in the head afterwards as well. Jesus. Smiley lingering for a wraparound handball. No. Duff Titler, I think, will definitely be jumping up on draft boards. What I'm wrestling with is Samson Ryan gets dragged down, but it was a good mark from Sims, I think it was. For me, like, we've just drafted a whole heap of talls, right? Including Sims, who's got the ball now, who could be the next possible ruckman. Who got Hayes Brown. That is a shocking kick, but we'll take it. He's going to claim he meant it too. So with Duff Titler, I'm like, for me, he'd have to almost be a unicorn to take him at pick 1. Like, as in unprecedented, unseen talent before. You just can't say no because we've already got some backup options who are going to be developing. But if he's that good, then you take him. And if we've still got North Melbourne's pick and it's pick 5, 6 or 7, whatever it might be, we should still be able to get a midfielder. Like, as we get another goal there, very, very nice. From a really munged kick from Sims inside 50. Yassine with a goal. But, I mean, the dream would be potentially if you got Duff Titler as your number 1 pick, so you got a genuine unicorn ruckman, and then maybe like a Fred Rodriguez at 5, 6 or 7. I'm pretty big on Fred Rodriguez, so you're probably going to hear me mention him a lot throughout the year. But that would be an elite haul if you could get those two. But then it would, then I don't know what it means for Sims, what it means for Samson Ryan. Like I said, if Duff Titler, though, is that far ahead of everybody else and is a unique generational ruckman talent, then you kind of can't ignore that. But 2 goals and 26 disposals and 8 clearances, 4 marks, 14 hitouts is pretty impressive, it must be said. Grock, we are all over the Fred Rodriguez train as the Lions come away from the centre clearance. Mortal Wombat, how are you, mate? What's going on? Smill doing all right? You gave away... Oh, it's Campbell Gray. Sell some candy. You love seeing that. Smill doing all right. He's got another disposal here. Lovely little kick-in board around his body. He's up to about 7 disposals. Very composed with ball in hand and makes good decisions. He gave away a couple of free kicks, though. He was a bit rough at the start. Live call for a North game? Possibly we could do that. Depends whose home game is it. Good tackle. Surely that's holding the ball. Yeah, well done. Massimo, we could split our first pick. What would you want to split it for, though? As in, like I didn't mean that. As in, why would you like? As in, what numbered picks would you want to split it for? It's a big call because it's probably going to be pick 1, unless the D's and Melbourne keep doing as solids. And, like, you don't want to give up someone like a Sharp or a Duff Titler if he's progressing like that. Skipper, you reckon Rodriguez ends up at West Coast? They'll be hot on him for sure. Oh, Elgar with a bit of a scoop. I reckon he threw that. Anyway, play on. Shocking kick. Hasn't got it, umpire. Has a ruck ever been first pick? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, DeConing and that were never pick ones, were they? Yeah, Grace O'Deal does like him. Oh, I think a lot of people are going to like Duff Tyler, to be honest. Oh, Matt Cruiser. Yeah, good call. So would we? I mean, super early to try and even make that call, but based on talent projection from what people have seen of Duff Tyler, would you say he's as good or better than what Cruiser was back at that point in time? West Coast could end up with 3 to 4 top 10 picks this year with what they're holding. Yeah. Split North's pick? Possibly. It's hard because the only other reason why I'd maybe be against splitting picks, if it meant getting picks in the teens, is because I think we, with a lot of the academy selections and father sons and shit like that, you hear a lot of people talk about being a compromised draft, but it starts to only become compromised from like picks 8, 9, 10 onwards. The top 7, I think, you get pretty good access to. So if you've got 2 picks within there, you'd maybe almost rather not split it so you don't have to worry about all the other bidding and picks that go on afterwards, maybe. I don't know. Josh Fraser, Jeff White, good calls. UG, welcome. Are they using what you see similar game plan in the reserves? I think they are. I think it's probably a bit harder to tell in the game currently because of how windy it is. But you can see that they're trying to take on those inside corridor kicks, which is what we see at the AFL level. It's just at the moment, I think because of the age profile, the VFL seem to be able to do it better for longer because, I don't know, it just seems they're a bit more consistent with it because of just where they're all at with their football. They're all operating on the same page, whereas the AFL, it's a whole different game. Oh, Gray with a body spoil, and that wind is just dragging the ball across the face of goal. And kickouts we all still seem to be playing on. That's almost too far. But... oh, Sims crashing pack. He's taken 3 people out there. Good. Oh, you got to make that stick. No. That's a bit disappointing. We didn't land that tackle there. Richmond took Richard Lown, who picked one back in 87. Here's young Kellaway, looks like a George Hewitt. Tell you what, if he turns out to be a George Hewitt, we'll be laughing. He is very underrated, I reckon. Oh, that's a great goal. He's bananaed that from about 45 out. That's a really good kick, actually. Lions with another goal. But yeah, young Louis Kellaway, he's definitely improved week on week in the first 3 rounds. His disposal was pretty good in the last week's game. So yeah, I think it sounds like we'll almost certainly take him as a father-son pick. I don't know how it works because we don't have later picks at the moment. We've got our pick and we've got North Melbourne's pick, and that's it. So I'm not sure if points become irrelevant once it gets to a certain point in time in the draft. I really don't know how it all works. But yeah, Callaway is ticking the boxes and progressing. I think people are sometimes ultra critical of his disposal, which maybe isn't always fair. But he knows how to find the footy, works hard from contest to contest. And what will be interesting to see if he gets a senior game this year or not, because he's actually finished his VCE study, so he's kind of just focusing on all footy this year. So hopefully he can, keep growing into his body and roll and get a game at senior level for Sturt. McAuliffe, Grant, correct, was a foot injury. Yeah. So I'm trying, Oh, good tackle. Could be a dangerous tackle potentially. Hearing mixed things on the severity of the foot injury. I'm trying to get some more firm information on it before I put out what I was told. Yeah, I'll keep working on that. Grace, you reckon the consensus, the top 6 picks better this year's draft than last year's? Just nowhere near the depth. Yeah, okay. Oh, that stayed in. Wow, that is an extraordinary bounce of the Sharon. As Hugo gets back. What an incredible bounce. I suppose with the draft, the question starts to become a bit more about, are we happy to take a risk on an interstate player, whether it's Sharp or Rodriguez or whoever it might be? Yeah, because there's the go home factor, but there's still talent's talent, right? And I think at some point in time, as a club, you've got to back yourself in to make the picks work. Great spoil, good roving. He probably had his arm held there too. Handball over the top. Sims on the wing. Great kick, the Jonty fall. Good mark. If not, it was a push. He's been battered and bruised in this game. Yeah, I had a couple of messages RFC on the severity of McCall's injury. I don't want to go with it just yet because I'm mindful that I don't know how accurate it is at the moment, but it wasn't the news I was hoping to hear, put it that way. Bendigo goal prospecting, welcome. Smiley's going right. He's ultra composed when he's got the ball in hand. Gave away a couple of free kicks early because he was a bit brutal. As Jasper Elgar roves. Oh, smothered. Sims, smothered. Jesus, good defending there from the Lions, to be honest. But yeah, every time Smiley's had the ball, he's hit his targets, composed, good vision. Even when being tackled, he's sort of aware enough to hold on to the ball for maybe half a second longer and find that releasing player. So really promising signs. Lachlan Groxo, go Fred in case we can use him in a deal for Reed. And a few people have floated that. Not so much taking him, but more the fact of as Elgar spins around after gathering the ball and misses. That if we are genuinely in the hunt for Harley Reid, then maybe us not taking Elgar can be a bit of a bargaining chip. Us not taking Rodriguez. Well, there's a free back on the play. Shit, I've already pushed the button for a point. I can't undo it. I'll have to leave it. Do we know why Beau Allen was not considered for our pick in the draft? Is going to be something special, I'm hearing. Yeah, it sounds like that Blair Hartley pulled the wool over everyone's eyes with that one. So he faked interest in Beau Allen, and to the point where all clubs were convinced we were taking him at pick. I think it would have been the Taj Houghton pick, I reckon. And then it didn't eventuate. So it doesn't sound like he was ever part of our plan. In reality, is Jasper Elgar comes in for a shot on goal after a free kick, and the behind stands anyway. Tough end to be kicking a goal out from that far out. Seven behind hurts though. Good spoil. Good tackle. Oh, we've got some numbers here. That is a high up and under. Can't hear the word Keller without thinking about kicking ability. His kicking's it's not that bad. Like, I think people get caught up when they watch these youngsters play on if they miss a target or two. But reality is, even AFL players miss targets. I don't think we should be expecting under 18 players to be hitting 100% of the kicking targets. Like I said, in the game last week, he was really good. He was hitting some really good targets, some nice inboard passes. Ugly kick forward. Another behind. So it's definitely something he should keep working on and will keep working on. But he knows how to find the ball. He probably plays 18 minutes of every quarter on the ground, and they take him off for the last 2 or 3 minutes and maybe try and sneak him back on for an extra 1 or 2 depending on how the game's going. So he's pretty much at every centre bounce. Takes a mark. He does work well behind the ball too. Yeah, he does some good things. I think he'll be fine. And he's already been doing some work at the club as well, which is good. Barlin was a smokescreen. Yeah, no poker nights with Blair. Spot on. He's shifty. Keep in mind, Houghton wasn't our first choice. Oh, I reckon he was. If you look at one of the videos that Taj Houghton they did of Taj, he had mentioned that the club said that they were going to take him way back when he did his knee. Rai Geishan said, "Don't worry, like we'll take you." So that was back in May. Who was the Essendon kid you speak of? Who did they take? I can't remember who they took now. But I reckon that Taj was most definitely very high on our list. Oh, free kick inside 50. Jonty Fall. Top of the goal square. He's grabbing his mouth a bit. Look, he might have copped a bit of a hit. This is a big goal here if we can kick this. Kako. Oh, well, we couldn't get him anyway, I don't think. We only... So if you mean because we read his name out, it would be because we just wanted to make sure that they had to use picks on him. Otherwise, it costs less and less as Jonty 4 goals. I don't think we ever had any thoughts that we would get him. Big Jonty. UG, Harley Reid's been chased by Pies and Hawks. Harley does not consider Tigers as an option, unfortunately. I've heard much the opposite in terms of Richmond not being an option. I've heard that they are an option, but we'll see how it plays out. Ultimately, if Collingwood and Hawthorn are on the table for similar money, you're probably going to consider them as a bit more front runners if from a success standpoint, I guess. Big Jonty Fall on the board. You love to see it. He was the pick prior to Houghton skipper, but I don't read that as that he was the kid we wanted. I think that was simply and we've done this to Essendon in the past, that we have often taken or bid on their plays that they need to use points on just to make sure they have to cough up the early picks for it. I think that was more a strategy rather than us wanting him. I don't think we would have cared if we had got him, but I don't reckon that he was deep down who we were trying to get. It was just to make Essendon pay up at that point in the draft, I reckon. Because remember, even the year that we got Noah Cumberland and things like that, we bid quite a bit on some Brisbane players too to make the Lions cough up and use points. But at the same time, Skipper, to your point, you don't do things like that unless you're happy to also land that player if Essendon don't match the bid. So they would have been, I guess, happy to get him if they didn't match it, but I don't think they ever thought that Essendon wouldn't match. Good smother there. Helga's goal accuracy up to the number 29. Are we winning in general play, Grant? I reckon we're doing okay in general play. There's definitely a breeze going down to the Lions end at the moment, so they're probably getting a bit more deeper entries as Smiley gets a 1-2 away from the half-back. Another releasing handball. Very good composure from Josh Smiley there. Picks the right options, which you love to see. The Samson Ryan gets on the end of it at half-forward. Very good transition out of defence there. Starting with Josh Smiley 1-2. We bid, Hipwood, Hipwood, Chol, Cumbo Newen. Yeah, there was quite a few that we bid on. So we were just trying to make teams use picks essentially. Because they were all in the 30s and 40s, I think, too, weren't they? A shame we couldn't compete there in the air. Bring the ball to ground. Oh, Elnor. Oh. Unlucky not to be paid the mark. Samson Ryan, geez, he was slow to release the handball, but got it out as Hugo Relsmith breaks a tackle, fires a handball off. Oh, Toner's put it a little bit deep. Pressuring the defender. Oh, jeez, he was lucky to hit the target. Toner was closing there. I'm happy Cumberland was delisted. Oh, it's a really tough one. I mean, from an offensive point of view, he definitely had the tools to be able to do damage. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, he just couldn't piece it together defensively. I thought we may have held on to him just based on how much experience that we lost. I'm not saying he was ultra experienced. I'm just saying he was more experienced than some of these young kids were. But obviously the coaching staff and that just didn't see didn't see enough from him, I guess. So I had to part ways. But look, I think it's probably a little bit damning that he didn't even get re-picked up by an AFL side. So I think that kind of says enough about where he was maybe at with his football, which is a shame because he honestly has the tools and the talent. He just couldn't unlock the ability mentally. Greystoke, Smiley handball choices are elite. Agree. Craig watched the Callow brothers on an old footy show today. Before a Mother's Day game. Nice. Oh, that's a free kick. How good were Andy and Duncan Callaway? I'm not sure of the age demographic of people in chat, but I used to wear the number 3 on my back. Duncan Callaway was a favourite of mine. He was just fearless. And if Louis shows the same fearlessness that Duncan and Andrew had, I think that's a really good sign. Oh, I lost it in the sun, did the snack pack. Oh, Wilson with a sidestep. Handball over the top. Razzo with a goal. Great little cheeky sidestep there. That's a good bit of general play after the snack pack lost the ball in the sun. Good recovery. Very nice. Peter, Smiley's a smooth mover. Agree, mate. Agree. We were saying before that he just looks composed and sure of himself when he's got the ball in hand. He's not panicking and looking around frantically. He just sees the play unfold and takes the best option. So I think he's definitely ticking boxes in that sense. Attitude and work ethic, yeah, spot on. No, I definitely won't be auctioning any of those footballs behind me. So they're Premier's balls. So every year, Sharon release a Premier's ball for the AFL Grand Final winner, and I've got one for every year I've been there. I'm actually missing one. I'm missing one of the Hawthorn balls. I do have. Ooh, I think my son has opened the box. Which year is this? I actually do have a spare 2019 Richmond Premier's ball from the GWS Grand Final win that I need to find something to do with in some type of giveaway. Well, not so much. I had to buy it still. I didn't get it for free, but definitely helped I was able to access it. But yeah, I've got a 2019 Richmond Premier's ball that I'll have to work out what to do with at some point. Tell you what, Grant, Smiley's doing everything possible to play around 5, and it's interesting that, good mark, Samson Ryan. Herbert, get up and about, mate. Get up and about. He's dished off the handball as we go inside 50. Sims turns around. I definitely won't be giving the footy to the kids because they'll boot it into a tree or over a fence or something like that. But back to answer your question, Grant, the reason why it might be interesting for Smiley is there's no VFL next week. I think someone mentioned before. The Tiger stubby holders aren't available at the G just yet. Razzo! Soccer's off the ground. What a goal. We have to pick this kid up. My goodness, if we don't make this happen, he almost looks like Robin Nahas a little bit, doesn't he? Razzo, 19 in 2 weeks or so. Goat. Everyone, we've got to get him. We've got to find a way. Kane, I want Mazame Razzo. The stubby holders will be here very, very shortly. Very, very, very shortly. So, in terms of the ones being picked up at the G, I think the next game that we'll have at the G that I'll be able to get to, because I don't have away membership, will be, it might be the Hawthorn one. But yeah, anyone else who had it for postage will be able to get them sent out, I think, within the next week or two. We need to do a fan protest to pick up Razzo mid-season. We need to find space, though. How many wet towels can Razzo hold, though? Very good, Grok. Grok just said that Razzo is 19 in 2 weeks, roughly. So very, very young, but very, very skillful. How do we get him, though? Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say the I word because I've had bad luck with that. But that is one way, a long-term I. The other way is if there's a player who wants to retire early, kind of like what Sean Grigg did when we got Marlon Pickett. He retired just before the mid-season draft because his body was cooked. The only player that fits that bill is Dion Prestia, but we don't know how bad he's. Gee, that's a monster kick. We don't know how his injury's going, so a lot of it will come down to that. And you don't want to wish retirement on a player who's served us so well like Dion has. But if he doesn't think his body's going to get back to its best and he can't offer what he wants to offer, is it a conversation that has to be had? I don't know, but we don't want to miss out on. We don't want to miss out on Razzo, I can assure you. In the end, cash is not preferable at this stage. Oh, we can find a way to make it work. We'll find a way to make it work. So the game we do go to the MCG with the stubby holders, maybe I'll bring a few extra for anyone who wants to purchase on game day as well. Oh, the Lions inside 50 behind. Tell you what, we're doing really well to be winning this quarter against the Breeze. That's a very positive sign. Oh, got to mark that. Very good quarter. The footballs are almost here too. They should be here. I'm going to say next week. I think the stubby holders will be roughly the same. Good tackle. Surely that's dropping the ball, umpire. Rosa was Castagna without points. Oh, a bit of candy. Jonty 4 presents well. Jasper Elga. Well, Jonty 4 gets the free kick for chopping of the arms. Can we get one more 4-0 to score a goal? Samson Ryan, kick it to him. He's 1-on-1. Let him cook. Unlucky. I'm pretty sure Lockie Street was coming back from ACL injury, I think it was. He was maybe a week or two away. I think he was very close to being able to play it. Was it ACL, though, or was it something else? I'm pretty confident it was injury-related, though. Shit, I said the word. Well, Kane, that's a good point you make as well, that we may not be bottom of the ladder to take him. It's a bizarre point that you make, but it's bizarre because it's accurate. We've lost a game by 72 points, then a game by 82 points, and we're still above Melbourne and Carlton. Do we post subby holders and footballs overseas because you're based in Europe for now? I can definitely look into that. Yeah, I can ask the post office. I'm sure. I mean, there is definitely an international postage bag. So if you're wanting one, shoot us a message on Facebook or Twitter, and I can find out. And I'll make sure they tell me the right price this time, not the incorrect price, which was very annoying. Yeah, Chris Herbert, we have had that theory for a while, haven't we? That the mid-season draft, there's some unwritten rules between clubs to not take player X, Y, and Z. But it feels like that Razzo could be highly sought after. Melbourne have shit the bed though, haven't they, just quietly? Just talking about AFL briefly. At what point do we reckon that Michael Voss is in trouble as well? He could be heading towards some pretty dangerous territory, I reckon. Yeah, we can definitely do a stubby holder and a footy meetup prize one game for sure. Should be closing in on half time here, I reckon. 25-point lead. Tell you what, again, I said it before, but we've done well to build or to extend on the lead and win the quarter against the wind. That's very impressive. Carlton have West Coast and North next 2 weeks. Even the West Coast game, like, that's not a gimme either. Because isn't it, from memory, isn't it West Coast and North are the only 2 teams they've beaten in the last 14 weeks, or 14 games, should I say? I agree, Michael. If West Coast beats Carlton, I reckon Voss could be gone. It's quite remarkable. Like, they've got 2 common medalists, a Brownlow medal, an All-Australian defender in Wiedering. On paper, their list is really solid, isn't it? But they just haven't been able to piece it together. Not sure what it is, but like it's not even isolated to just this year. It's last year, or the back half of last year too. Trouter, if they go 0-6, Voss is done. West Coast games gather round. So that makes it, yeah, okay. So you probably lose your home ground advantage there if you're West Coast. Herbert, Carlton should beat West Coast next week, and then Melbourne will most likely beat us. We'll be bottom 2 by mid-season draft. Possibly. That sounds relatively plausible. Although if Carlton botch this West Coast game, who knows? But they don't even have their first pick. To make it even worse for them, as we've given away a holding free kick in the last, what feels like, minute of play. That's a disappointing free kick to give away. An easy shot on goal here coming up for the Lions. Dan Murphy, what did you get from Dan Murphy, Grok? Bit of Brookvale Union. Oh, that is a shithouse kick, to put it bluntly. He's absolutely scuffed that. Voss will be by round, says widescreen. UG reckons Voss will survive until at least round 20. David H. Blue supporters still blame Malthouse for all their problems. Jesus Christ. If they crash out again, Voss with a new scapegoat. Have we got time to get one more score on the board as we're fighting for the ball at the half-forward line? Oh! Got to get the handball out. Moi Moi. Oh, he's just jumped into his back. Yeah, he did. Give it to Smiley. Give it to him. Oh. Inside 50 from Moi Moi. Can we take a grab? We can. Jasper Alga takes the mark. Good blocking there by Jonty Fall. Jonty Fall provided very good coverage there for Jasper. I'm telling you, this kid's playing AFL soon, folks. Great work from the half forwards as well to get that back into possession, not let it go out of bounds, and to get it forward. Jasper Alga lining up. We've got supporters behind the goal just giving him a target to kick to, which I love. That is a shocking kick as well. He's just stabbed at it there, needed to kick through it. That would have been a huge body blow to get that on the stroke of half-time. That's a bad miss. We've done him dirty there, Herbert. We've gone real early, and he's let us down with that kick. You just got to... Oh, he's been pushed out. As the siren goes for half-time.
Excellent quarter for Richmond, 7-9-51 to Brisbane, 3-8-26.
Razzo with 3 goals for the Tigers at half-time. So he's a pretty impressive player. Not bad though at half-time. 7-9-51 to 3-8-26. Should have been another goal there. Alga's missed a really good opportunity to put us a bit further ahead, unfortunately. But what have we all made of the first half, folks? I know it's VFL, so it's a blend of AFL listed and VFL plays, but who's everyone liked? Are we happy with how Smiley's gone so far? Hugo, any plays that have stood out? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments. We'll chat about it. Greystoke, agree, mate. Alga definitely reads the ball well in the air. He actually, I think he plays a lot taller than what he is too. And he's actually on the younger end as well. I think his birthday's late December. So he's almost a year further back, like, development and size-wise than some of these other kids. He looks good, bar that kick. Disorder, G. Smill's been burned a bit in this first half by teammates. Definitely try to get a few wraparound handballs there, but they didn't give it off to him. Jones Racing, I'd hate to be in Uze's office door the coming weeks. Mortal Wombat, I reckon Smiley will be very, very close to debuting next week. I think I don't know if this plays in his favour or not, but there's no VFL next week, I think I read before. So, does that make it more probable or less probable? I don't know. But he's definitely putting his best foot forward. It just comes down to, I think, the conditioning side of things, whether they want him to have another week. But he's going to have a week off, isn't he? So you kind of lose that continuity. It almost feels like he will to keep continuity. but we'll have to wait and see, I guess. Sean Price, how do we get Razzo on the senior list? We need someone to either retire before mid-season or a long-term eye, which we don't really want. But as Herbert mentioned before, if hypothetically Gibcus's injury is not recovering as well as we like and we want to just put him on the long-term list for the year, like I'm not sure if that's the case or not, but they're the kind of hypotheticals that we're looking at, I guess. Got a 4-pack of Kieran. What hoist? I can't even say that. Green apple to try. What is it? Is it a vodka? What kind of type of drink? Jonty looks the best of the kids, Sean. I reckon we'll see him in the next 3 or 4 weeks, I reckon. Old Jonty Fall. Chris Herbert, Ryan taking marks. Razzo 3 goals and Al Noor. He had that one bad kick, but it's pretty shit condition, so we can we'll let it slide. Craig, if Smiley gets through un-eye, we will have another win. Very true. Mark wants a Jonty in as well. Jasper, Josh, and Noah are in. Yeah, I actually didn't realise that Noah Bolter is available next week. I thought it was 1 more week, so that's a pleasant surprise. From ground level, Jonty's getting manhandled all over the place. Agree, Mark. There was when he got that free kick at the top of the square, he was grabbing his face. I was like, they're really getting stuck into him. He's a bit of a physical unit, though, Jonty Fall. He loves it. Smiley, Melanie. I reckon Smiley will be on minutes restriction. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him play in the last quarter. Although, given he's not carryover for the AFL, if they think they've got enough conditioning into him, then maybe he'll play the full game. We'd obviously all love to see him play the full game, but I wouldn't be shocked if that happens. It's like the... Oh, right, like 196. Okay, yep. Have you had that one before? What have you sent me, Grok? There we go. Is that really the drink? At the risk of other messages popping up on my screen, there's a drink called a doozy. Look at that. Yes, mate? I'm not sure where Mum is. I'm hoping she's out there with you. The doozy drink. That's a good find there, Grok. Well done. Yeah, Houghton did have a brother in the VFL. Yeah, got delisted. Hawk Timmy and Jasper Olg have the same name. Very nice. He's going to be a player. He's going to be a player, Jasper. And what do we think happens with Blight once Bolter is back? Saw him doing ruck work with Nank. So funny you say that, Bridge. Chris Herbert, who's in chat, he and I were talking about this at work, and he made a good point that maybe the viewpoints that we had about this on Monday night show, we were maybe looking at it a bit incorrectly. So on Monday night show, we talked about this same type of hypothetical, and we were probably all basing it on who goes in and out of the side because Bolter or like Blight will all be trying to play into defence. But maybe Blight plays forward or Bolter might play forward. I know that might ruffle feathers, or he comes off the bench. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I think after talking to Herbert about it, we probably can play all three in the same side. It just might mean it maybe impacts the game time for someone like a Bauer or an Armstrong potentially. Just you don't want to go too tall, obviously. But we clearly don't seem to want to play a genuine second ruck, i.e. Samson Ryan. So it seems like that we'll be going with the second forward as a ruckman. But what was interesting is what we did with our team lineup for this week. And I know with how it's written on the AFL website means jack shit, but it's got Blight starting on the bench. And we know that last week Uze mentioned that what undone us a little bit, it was taking Blight from the back line to ruck. It kind of destabilizes. So now he's trying to go the stabled back line and then bring Blight off the bench to ruck and maybe go forward and do whatever he's got to do. Sean, he definitely won't be. He definitely won't be. Josh, I'm not too sure when I'll be returning to Twitch, to be honest. It's really hard to find time to do it. There might be a reason to do it in the near future, though, potentially. Guessing they'll start floating, rotating the new big men through, give Armstrong a rest. Dave H, I agree. I've always felt like that we'll be using these the big forwards in 4 or 5 block stints. So give Armstrong 4 weeks uninterrupted, then Jonty Fall, then maybe Sims, just to get the exposure. And I think it would be a great experience for all of them to get a chance to play alongside Tom Lynch as well from a learning perspective. And then Bauer kind of fits in around that too, I suppose. So, yeah, Larkin, I think Blight's done really well to earn his spot. You can't drop him based on what he's done so far. And you've got to remember, he's only played a handful of games too, so he's only going to get better with the experience in an AFL environment. Obviously, won the 2 game time trial in pre-season, so he's working hard on his fitness. He's a good aerial jumper. Probably, I'd like to see him back himself to take more marks. I think he leaves a couple on the table just because he tries to do the more disciplined thing, where he could take a mark. But yeah, I think he's definitely done well to earn his spot. Black's not going anywhere. Bolter could play on a wing, Peter. I don't think we will, though. I think Hugo Ralsmith will come back in and play on a wing, and I think we've seen enough evidence that Bolter's best positioned in defence. Even though I'm still not fully against him being played up forward, I don't think we'll do that now. Just based on who we've drafted as well, I think that's kind of done. If anything, the issue maybe starts to prop up when Josh Gibcus comes back. I think he could be the one that goes forward, potentially. Have to wait and see. Hawk, you reckon we'll drop Trainer next week? Or no, I don't reckon we'll drop Trainer. Unless he's cooked, like just wrecked and tired, but he looks ultra composed. It's so hard because he and Lawler, you want to get, if you can, you want to get 20 games into him this year. Straight off the bat, just progress him as much as we can. So unless he looks like he's slowed down today and next week, well then maybe he's a chance to get dropped next week, but on exposed form, he will definitely be playing, I reckon. Richmond Brotherhood. I don't know if I'll be streaming for the senior game, Richmond Brotherhood, because I kind of feel bad that I've left 3 kids out there with a wife who are probably running amok. So I don't want to burn too many bridges and try and do that for another 2 hours later on. But we might do a fan cam after the game. So if anyone wants to share their thoughts, we might do another live tonight where you can jump on and chat on the stream to give your thoughts on the game potentially. I reckon Bauer goes out, Blight goes forward, and Miller and Bolter as the defenders. Yeah, Bauer's an interesting one. What do we think of Bauer? Has he? I don't know whether he's been doing enough to suggest he's going to stay in the team long term, but I also think we have to give him the right opportunities and right setups to be able to flourish. Like he showed some good signs early. But yeah, I'm keen to hear everyone's thoughts on Jacob Bauer. Tigers first, family second. Don't drop Trainer. I'm with you, Sean. Josh, look, I won't speculate on a reaction to that because I just don't think it's going to happen. And we'll talk more about the Bolter, that side of stuff once it all plays out. But obviously, violence is not the answer, and what he did was not okay by any stretch, and that's probably where we'll leave it until it plays out over the next couple of weeks. Herbert's calling the new Tiger Triangle, ruck defence and swingman, Bolter, Nank and Blight. Don't mind it. I'm actually more interested in the fact you included Nank, given your thoughts. Live call next week, possibly, because, yeah, we're playing in Adelaide, aren't we? Good call, Jones Racing. Bauer's soft, or... I can see what you're saying, Sean. It's a big call to label someone soft, though, isn't it? Yeah, you want him to hit packs harder. You want him to do what Harry Armstrong does, don't you? I guess is the point, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, Josh. The Suns have really impressed this year. And I was harsh on them last year for not winning away, as were the AFL community, because it was factual and they cost themselves a spot in finals. But as it stands right now, you would have to say that Gold Coast are odds on to play finals on the back of their now newfound ability to win on the road, which was always a massive piece of the puzzle for them. And if Dimmer's unlocked it, they're going to be a really tough team to beat home and away. That's going to be a massive game this week, Adelaide and Gold Coast. Given how both teams are going, that's going to almost be a must watch. When is that one on? Is that on today? I'm not sure when that one is. But yeah, they've been really impressive, and credit to them, because they needed to turn that around to be a legitimate finals hope. And it seems like so far they have, so credit to the Suns. You can't make Blight a forward, excellent defender. It's a tough one, isn't it, Noel? Because we need him, as per Uze's comments in his presser last week, we don't want to take him from the back line to secondary ruck because it destabilises the back line. So we almost have to make him play somewhere else to be able to do that with him. It's a real catch-22, isn't it? I take your point, and I don't disagree. Noah, another live stream with Cam Hicks coming soon. We'll definitely work on something because this year will be the last year we will get access to Cameron Hicks. So we will make the most of it. And what's good is obviously the Coates League's now underway. So there'll be a bit more footage around and things like that we can look at. So we'll definitely do a couple more during the year for sure. For sure. Also as well, if you haven't seen it, I posted it on Big Footy, Twitter and Facebook. I posted some footage of Archie Daffy as well, who's the son of Nick Daffy. So he is a underage player playing for Geelong Falcons in the under-18s. I don't think he played in their ones last week, but he played in a practice match. And Nick Daffy sent me some footage of a nice little stoppage from the back line, then an Archie burst speed all the way up to the forward line to get the next kick again. So he actually looks really nice, Archie Daffy. So I'll be tracking him as well very, very closely. Or Mortal Kombat with the moral dilemma. Someone's parked across his driveway. Do you call a tow truck? Do you know who it is? Like, is it a neighbour? Can you knock on the door? Yeah, Liam Baker's done well, and we always told West Coast supporters, like I felt that during that trade period that West Coast supporters were sceptical of getting Liam Baker, but we try to keep, telling him that he's going to be a good one for you. And on the captaincy front, there's a very genuine chance he could be the next captain of West Coast. So I still think he's got the captaincy material in him. It just, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you want to view it, wasn't with us. Sean, Jonty and Sims look great. Jonty the standout. I like Jonty. I like Jonty. Jones Racing, Ryan our best today. Plays next week if he finishes the game off. There's a question, folks. Samson Ryan, he's kicked 1 goal 3, but he's clunking marks, contested marks as well around the ground. Has he done enough to warrant selection next week if he can keep this up for the second half? What do we think for Samson Ryan? Grok says the Suns address their biggest weakness, turnovers from half back with Rioli and Noble. Yeah, they're going to be dangerous. They're going to be ultra dangerous. Lockie, how are we going to make sure Razzo doesn't get plucked out of our VFL like Durham and Davidson? It's the $1 million question, isn't it, Lockie? Number one, we have to rely on Carlton and Melbourne winning games and West Coast to get above us, so we have the number 1 pick in the mid-season draft. Then number 2, we actually need a pick to take in the mid-season draft, which means a long-term injury. Oh, shit, I said the word. Or a retirement. So there's a lot to play out for us to get him, but you would love to pick him up. I would be gobsmacked if he's not on an AFL list at mid-season. Would be shocked. Benjamin, Smiley looks massive. He does. Imagine in a few years, he looks like he's just a touch underdone. Better for the run. Like to see him push forward a bit more. Wasn't known for that too much. Yeah, he's looking all right. He's very, very calm and clean with the ball. I actually put a video on YouTube a little while ago floating to play him off half back. Just because I wasn't sure, like in AFL level, I wasn't sure how it would work if he and Lawler were both at half forward. So I would have one at one end, one at the other, while they're not in the midfield. Because we've got to remember, as much as we want them in the midfield, they're not going to play 70% game time in the guts at this stage. It just won't happen. Craig, West Coast supporters are calling for Bakes for captain. Doesn't surprise me. Yeah, Jack Graham has been doing things at West Coast we probably didn't see much of at Richmond, I think it's fair to say, Josh, which is good for him, frustrating for us. Larrikin, look, I mean, he's probably one of our best on today. Like I've said, I think Ryan's still on the younger side for a ruckman. He's starting to now hit that age where he needs to piece it together to evolve himself as a player. I'm not writing him off just yet. I'm probably in the minority with that. I just think that we still have to allow a little bit of time. And I just think the 3-year contract says the club are maybe on the same page there, because you don't offer 3 years for a VFL player. And making him in his position, I think, is fine too. Smiley, 8 disposals, 3 tackles, 2 clearances. Thank you, Jones Racing. Sean Darcy, if he comes, that's a good point. If Sean Darcy comes back next week and it's Sean Darcy and Luke Jackson playing, then maybe we do have to go with a genuine ruck, a second ruck. I don't think you can throw blight to the wolves like that, can you? Thoughts on missing out on Sam Davidson? I'm okay with it, Josh, because I've said this a few times that it's very circumstantial. I personally don't think he hit true form until after the mid-season draft, so it probably didn't warrant selection there, even though we passed on the last pick. And then in the national draft, we simply didn't have the pick to take him. So, yeah, we obviously traded back in later on to get Alga, but we just didn't have a spare pick to be able to do it. So it's annoying. Yes, I don't blame the club, and I think it was just very unlucky and circumstantial based. And I would also say that the Sam Davidson we see for the Bulldogs now would not be the Sam Davidson we would see for Richmond if he was playing in the same spot. And I say that because the Bulldogs are at a very, very different point in their footballing evolution and ability, and their list experience and age and profile is vastly different to what we've got. So Davidson can go into the Bulldogs and just slip into a nice, easy role. Not easy, but a role that he's got coverage in. He's got experienced bodies around him. He can just do his thing. He jumps into the wing in our team, and he's probably going to be fairly exposed because of how young we are, and he wouldn't be the same player. So I'm wrapped for him. And yeah, it's annoying we didn't get him, but there's reasons why. There's reasons why. Cody looks good. Which Cody? Who's up for selection? Gather around for Richmond. Smiley should be putting his hand up, human, I reckon. Smiley will be thereabouts. Noah and Blair, we trust, agree. Oh, Cody Walker. It would be amazing if we could convince him. You would have to assume that he's going to pick Carlton based on the father-son links, but you never know. You never know. From what I've heard, that Hartley and Geishan are really putting in a body of work to convince him to come to us. And it may not eventuate, of course, but I respect the hustle and that they're trying. The other one that's coming through as well, not this year, but next year, Tanner Armstrong. He plays for, I think it's Murray Bushrangers, I think. He will be a really good small rebounding defender as well. So keep an eye on Tanner Armstrong. I think he was missing through injury for the first few games, but the footage I had from his champs games last year was really good. It was really, really good. Dersman looked great in the Coates League. Yeah. Are people speculating that he will be the best Dersman of the lot? And Grok, that's why it's interesting, isn't it? Carlton are a bit of a mess at the moment and showing a lot of instability, and it's actually almost really good timing for us. It might be an easier sell to not go there if they're not showing stability and strength. So it could actually help. I'm not sure if you're trying to troll me or not, Josh, but you got to remember that when things are said back at that point in time, they're often true and correct. That doesn't mean players can't change and get better, though. So both things can be accurate at the same time. Hands down, the best Dersma. Very good. Shane, that's the $1 million question. Do we find a retirement or not? Who do I currently want us to draft? Noah, I'm really big on Fred Rodriguez, but Duff Tyler, as was pointed out earlier, is definitely making a ginormous case for the number one pick as a ruckman. I'm assuming that we've got the number one pick, of course. Yeah, Kane, I don't personally subscribe to that. I don't think Blair's got to apologise for anything. When you look at the 8 players that we picked up in the draft, and like I said, there was some circumstance and reason why we didn't get Sam. Unfortunate, yes, but not the end of the world. Dyson Sharp will go 1, quite possibly. Quite possibly. Looks like the game's about to start, but the screen is still not showing the game. Hopefully they get that overlay off soon. And Paul, you could be right. You could be right that Duff Tyler with 1 and a midfielder. There'll still be a good midfielder available at pick 5. I agree. The game has... Oh, there we go. Let's just come back on. Third quarter has commenced, folks. I appreciate everyone joining in live as well. Hopefully everyone's enjoying it. It's a bit of a different game type to do a live for, but I appreciate all the comments and chat and the discussion. Hopefully you're all having fun. If you are watching on YouTube, you're not subscribed, feel free to hit the subscribe button. A nice little alert should pop up on the side. There should be a little YouTube button on the bottom right side of your screen. If you click that, it should give you just an easy option to hit subscribe if you're not already. We appreciate all the love and support. The doozy's delicious, by the way. 9.5 out of 10, Grok. God damn. That should almost be the official drink of the show, shouldn't it, the doozy? Hey, Sarge, how are you, mate? Smiley's doing all right. He's doing all right. I think Jones Racing said he was up to about 8 disposals before, a couple of clearances, some tackles, got rewarded with a couple of free kicks. He did give away a couple of free kicks early, it must be said. But what we're, I suppose, interested to see now is what his game time minutes looks like. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Calling on Sharp purely because we need speed. I'm kind of with you, Noah. Like, Sharp's going to be a gun player, don't get me wrong. But in terms of what I think we need from a list perspective, I feel like the speed of Rodriguez would be more appealing to us. Oh, it's owned by a Swans player. Oh, we don't want to support that then. I'll be kind of dirty if I've only played him for a half, Ben. I'm not going to lie. I'd want to see at least 3 quarters. No, I've got no issue in not taking Xavier Lindsay. I'm pretty happy with the crop we picked. You could say that about a lot of clubs. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. But you've got Taj Houghton and Luke Traynor in, who are arguably 2 top 6 picks that we've gotten for well outside that. As Brisbane Lions stream inside 50 with a behind as the goal umpire almost gets falconed. Yeah, Josh is trying a little bit. He's getting close to being booted, to be honest. Smiley on managed minutes? Yeah, he will be. He will be on managed minutes, I imagine, but hopefully we still see him in this second half. I'd be shocked if we only played him for 2 quarters. Only because there's no VFL next week and he's been conditioned for a while now. Surely we see a bit more. Rioli did all right early days. Petey was looking really good. But again, you want to see that lasting for 3.5 quarters, 4 quarters. Hugo. Good call, Herbert. What about Hugo Ralsmith, folks? Is he a very good chance to come back in next week at senior level? Good tackle by Kaczynski. The ball spills out, though, and Brisbane get the first of the 3rd quarter. If we assume that Hugo Ralsmith comes back in next week, are we saying that he's going to play on the wing, and at whose expense? Hugo looking good. Straight back in for you, Warren. Fair enough. I tend to agree. I just don't know at what expense, but I think the one thing we can all probably agree on is we need his speed out in the field, whether it's breaking the lines on half back or running between the wings, whatever it might be. I think it's something we desperately need. Lockie, you want him on the wing? Yeah. I think it's much needed. Comes in for Trezise. What do we think of Trezise so far? He's had a couple of okay games, some iffy moments. But again, he's probably one that needs to be given some time. But when you've got someone like Hugo waiting in the wings, it's probably hard to keep him in the side, isn't it, sometimes? Trezise will go out, a few people reckon. No, yeah, Campbell Gray, I thought, will be a chance to come in as well soon. I think he's done really well transitioning to a defender. Razzo win, just find a way to make it happen. Samson Ryan drifting back and taking more marks, Herbert. What are we seeing? Kane, you wanted Finn O'Sullivan? Yeah, he was the other one. He's looking pretty good for North, isn't he? Again, though, it's one of those things, isn't it? You get one, miss out on the other, but yeah, I do like Foz. Mark Harrison, thank you for the follow. I don't know why it says months there. I'll have to fix that, but appreciate the subscribing on YouTube. Appreciate love and support. Oh, human. Will Richmond beat Melbourne in round 6? Geez, it's shaping up to be an absolute belter, isn't it, with the way both teams are going? Look, truthfully, we're going to be up against it, as we will be for most games. What honestly scares me about that Melbourne game is we do not want a repeat of the Tom Hafey game. For those, do many people remember how that one went? It wasn't great. It wasn't great. So you just want to stay ultra competitive. Look, if you're Melbourne, if Melbourne get to that game and they haven't won yet, they're going to be eyeing that game off as their grand final, essentially. You would say they would pencil it in as a win for them, but who knows? It's going to be Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Studi wish Jagger was a Tiger. Oh, it's not so bad. And Grok's had a really good point. The reason why Grok in particular, and maybe some others, weren't so hell-bent on Jagger is because the player type that Jagger is, you find more of in drafts. And Jack Lees, who's coming through as a father-son in 2026, shows Jagger vibes already. Maybe doesn't get it as much as Jagger at this stage. He's still got 2 years on his side. But he does use the ball well. He's smooth in traffic and finds the goals too. So I think the player type of Jagger is found more often, so therefore not as big of a loss if you don't get him, if that makes sense, as the Lions hit the post. Noel Murphy-Reid didn't look thrilled to go. He didn't, but shit, what about that game the other week where he kicked 4 goals in a quarter? Crazy stuff. Yeah, Warren, Jonty Fall and Sims have been looking good. Like I said, I feel like we'll see Jonty Fall as maybe the next inline forward, and then Sims maybe not long after. Although Sims, the appeal for Sims, I guess, if you're Uze, is the ability to ruck as well. I know that yeah, the Tom Hafey game was pretty flat. Like, that was probably one of the biggest low points, I reckon, as a Richmond supporter, that we couldn't even get up for a game in memory of a club legend. The effort that we put up out there was nothing short of disgusting. You're right. I wanted to forget that as well, actually. It's a good point. Who am I captaining in Supercoach? I actually haven't paid attention to my classic team this week, to be honest, Studi. I think I had it as either DeConing. I think it might have been, hopefully. Because the main Supercoach thing I'm in at the moment is a draft one at work, and we actually have captain switched off for that. But who have you gone for captain? The other one I would usually go with is Jerry, but he's obviously out injured. Benjamin came to watch Smiley, but this Campbell Gray looks great. Get him in and put Blight forward. It's definitely an option, mate. And I think Campbell Gray did play some defensive time at Essendon, but probably maybe more up forward, as Sims takes a really nice mark there. But I think Campbell Gray is a very genuine chance to come in as a defender at some point. That's a dangerous kick by Sims. Turns it over at wing, streaming in. Oh, he's bounced it horribly there. Wow. Great tackle, Alnor. Thank you for the follow, Corey. Much appreciated. Was that not one of the worst bounces of the football you've ever seen in your life? Studi, thank you for the follow, mate. Much appreciated. Neil or Zorko. Hold me for next week. Fuck, I'm worried about the damage they could do. Surely we put... surely Camden McIntosh sits on Lachie Neale today. Elnor dropped him, Kane. There's the question for you, chat. With the main game, as Jacob Blight, Campbell Gray takes a really good mark against the flight of the ball there. For the main game later today, Lachie Neale has been prone to not coping with tags very well. Would you sit Camden McIntosh on Lachie Neale, or would you go to a Dane Zorko, or do you start on Neale and maybe move to Zorko if he gets off the leash? What do you all think? That's annoying to give away that free kick. We were out. Hugo was on the burst. Oh, is Jerry playing, is he? Yeah, Trouter. Elnor, I think, will get looked at by a few teams, I reckon. Geez, good roving front centre there. Razzo gets the handball out. Good switch of play there. We still haven't seen Smiley this quarter. Camden should go to Zorko, says Lachie. Studi says Camden can't hold Neale. That might be true, but do we at least try for the first quarter while he's fresh to stifle... or Jonty Four flies, to try and stifle some of his possessions early days and maybe tag him out? I wouldn't mind seeing Seth Campbell go toe-to-toe with Zorko. I just feel like that Campbell could maybe hurt him the other way. So trying to make Zorko defend could be the key. Mansell would have been perfect for it. Good tackle, Campbell Gray. Could be in the back, though. No, play on. Elnor wheels around, gets it out. I know, Studi. It's kind of annoying how deep their midfield bats now with both the Ashcrofts. You got McCluggage, Berry, Neale, Dunkley, Zorko. They've got some serious depth. On behind frenemy lines, I was joking with JB that we can't actually tag everybody, but yeah. Oh, widescreen TV, thank you so much, mate, for the $5. Much appreciated. No, no worries at all keeping everyone up to date with all things Richmond. It's always good fun talking about the Tigers. Do we tag McCluggage, Jones Racing? Yeah, we could nearly tag all of them. Smiley back on, as rightfully pointed out in chat. Lays a good tackle. Ball spills out. That hopefully goes out of bounds on the full. There it is. I just think we have to we've got to put time into opposition midfielders just to prolong how long it takes before they can break us down. Like, I don't think it's going to work across the full 4 quarters, but if we can drag out how long it takes before they break us, as Hayes Brown takes a great mark on the wing there. Strong hands, dishes off the handball, inside 50. Jonty fall. No, oh, horrible bounce though. Smiley with the handball out. Oh, let go of the tackle, Jasper. Oh, good spin out of trouble there. Blast kick in the air, could fall in the hands of Sims. No. Bobbling around. Good pressure from the Tigers there, and well done to set up behind the play to get the number for the mark. Switches across the ground. I like the ball movement. If we can do this at AFL level, that'd be lovely. Couple of flyers there. Campbell Gray being good. Warren, you're impressed. Brian, good morning from Scotland. Hey, welcome. Welcome. I wonder why Neil's so low, Studi. I mean, it could just be so they get experience into the Ashcross. It could actually be quite a smart play for them. Yellow and black in Sunbury. I got to leave soon for bus replacements. Gee, that won't be nice. Smiley's been doing all right. He's had about 8 or 9 disposals, some good tackles, but I think the key is when he's had the disposals, he's actually made really good decisions and hit his targets, released plays with good handball chains and things like that. So while he's not got, 25, 30 touches, good bump by Campbell Gray there. Hayes Brown with a nice pick up and turn. He's used the ball well, more importantly, which I think is a good sign. Smiley, see, good handball there again. Hayes Brown's had a good couple of minutes here. I agree, Peter. I think Gray's a very big chance for senior selection. We actually might see him go off the ground soon as well because he was an emergency. Oh, Ben checking in from Japan. Gunma Japan. Welcome, Ben. The game's going good. We actually outscored Brisbane in the second quarter against the Breeze, which was really interesting. So, yeah, it's good. Smiley's doing all right. Campbell Gray's doing really well. Samson Ryan has taken some great marks today. Al Nord just took a really good mark there too. Dunkley's good. They just bat deep. It's disgusting. We almost have to try and ruffle their feathers a bit, don't we? Try and get under their skin. So the VFL game, folks, if you're wanting to watch, is just on... Oh, flying shot for goal. Behind. If you go to the AFL website and you go to the VFL Match Centre, there should be a Watch Now button, so you can watch it on the AFL website. Oh, turnover. Jasper Alga. Score. Did he get the goal? Yes, Jasper Alga on the turnover. Kicks the goal from 45. Lovely goal. Dunkley took 88 CBAs. God damn. Neil is focusing on doing the team thing when he's getting tagged and letting the players around him play for the team. Milesh Dunk, Sorko. Yeah. And, how nice to have that flexibility to do that, though, right? You've got a dual Brownlow medalist that you don't even need to use in the midfield as a permanent mid if you don't want to. It's scary. I do have a Supercoach League. It's a total points one. So there's about 105, 110 teams in there. So that you don't verse each other head to head, obviously. It's based on total score. But we should do tipping next year. Warren checking in from East Skippy. Love your work, Warren, down in East Gippsland. Is that CB territory down there? Agreed, Chowder. Jasper looks very good. Mick, agree. Great goal from Jasper. I'm at the risk of being a broken record. I'll be shocked if we don't see him soon at AFL level. High tackle there going to the Lions. Luke Trainer round 4, all rising star. Hopefully. That'd mean he's had a pretty good game. Our pressure's been good here. Geez, I'm surprised that's not holding the ball. That's a 360. Good tackling. Oh, nearly shut him down. Good spoil. Campbell Gray, good spoil. Kaczynski back there. Got to get rid of it. Elnor, nice. I'm with you, Noah. The pressure's been really good, hasn't it? Oh, Jasper Alga, take a bow. That was awesome. Straight to Hugo Rollsmith. Here's the fast break. Is it Toner? Come on, Toner. You got to hit your target. Oh, Yassine beats one. Oh, what a goal. What a goal from the VFL boys. That all started from Jasper Alga's desperation on the half-back line to win that contested ball and get the handball out over the top. That started the chain of events. That was good. Very good goal there. Trotter, that's a good shout. Rioli might have come off for AFL reserve. That's a good point. Okay, Logan. Smiley's been doing all right. He might be up to 10 or so disposals now. And while that doesn't sound like a massive number, it's probably been more about the quality in the ball use and how composed he is with it. Made some good tackles, pressuring well. Yeah, he's doing some good things. Obviously on some managed minutes as well. But that was a great team goal. The defensive pressure as well from the half-back line and the wingers to squeeze up there to cause those turnovers is really good. No punishment yet, CB. I think for CB, there could be an executive order on its way for Monday night, though. We'll have to remind EJ. No worries, Logan. All good, mate. Good to have everyone on board today. Studio, it's like a coin flip. Do I put the captain on Neil? He's got a really good record against us. Fuck, they're big numbers, aren't they? I mean, I'd almost be tempted to go Zorko just because I'm not sure we've got the perfect matchup. I think Mansell was the perfect matchup because he's a bit more physical. Like, say if Seth Campbell goes to him, Seth Campbell's not very physical and Zorko can get upset quite easily for someone who is. So I kind of feel like he might be off the chain a little bit. Who we putting in, Warren? If you had to make a late change, who's going in? We'll chuck some of the VFL boys in maybe who are doing some really good things. Alga could definitely debut next week. I thought he was close this week, to be honest. I really thought with Mansell out, we might have gone a bit more like for like with a small forward with Alga or Rioli, but they also went Banks. Yeah, EB Campbell Gray's doing good at fullback. To be able to adjust that well is credit to him. And, like, you know, we can go forward as well if we have to, too. Chris, the Lions asked us if they could present the Premiership Cup for the Lions Vic members today, and we said no. Good. Fuck them. Pardon the language. They've given us enough headaches over the years by smashing us, and the Tom Lynch not allowed goal. I know that wasn't maybe Brisbane's fault directly, but no, stuff them. They can have a function somewhere else. Zorko's been the main VC for a lot of people. Got a feeling Zorko will get 136. Yeah, good, very well. Good, very well. I just don't know if we've got the right type of tagger to curb his influence. Oh, why is that a free kick? That's it, Jones Racing. If Jonty's not going to mark it, at least bring it to ground and half the contest, which is good. Yeah, Brian, it's really tricky to sync up. I actually thought we'd all be a lot closely synced because we're all watching it on the same platform, like on the AFL website, compared to the usual games where some might be on KO, some might be on Foxtel, and so on. But it seems like we've still got similar issues. I truthfully don't think there's a proper answer to fix it, to be honest. Oh, Sims roving. Sims is taking advantage. He's jagged a goal. Big Simsy around the body. I think Samson Ryan might have earned the free kick, but Sims just goes bang. Gotta love a big man just snapping around his body on the run, if you don't mind. We have done very well here to push this margin out just quietly. And we've missed some sitters too, as have they. We're being fair, but... Now, it's good that some of these boys are putting their hands up to play. You know, the cornerstone of any development and growth in AFL is making sure that there's pressure on our players playing AFL by those underneath. If you don't have that pressure, everyone can start to coast and get complacent. So it's good to see players like Alga and Sims, Jonty Fall, good to see all of them putting their hand up, and Campbell Gray as well, because it really does put pressure on the guys to keep performing. That's a tough question, Noah. Do you think Sims will be a ruck forward or a forward ruck? It almost feels like a forward ruck, doesn't it? I think this is where it's interesting, where if we do draft someone like Duff Tytler, who might be a genuine ruck, then maybe Sims becomes a forward ruck. But then you've got Samson Ryan doing the same thing, so they're kind of battling it out. I don't know. What do you think? What does everyone else think? Is Sims a forward ruck or a ruck forward? Agreed, Craig, and it's quite funny, isn't it, where at AFL level we're losing games by such hefty margins, but yet there's seemingly competition for spots and there's headache selections for a whole wide range of reasons. Campbell Gray, what a mark. He's a genuine chance to play soon. That is good. Oh, that's a dicey kick, but it works. Yeah, Herbert, I'm with you. And everyone else who's called it too. Campbell Gray's looked very sure of himself down back. Just reads the flight of the ball well, doesn't he? And what I like is if he leaves his man, he actually impacts the contest he's going to. Like, he doesn't fluff it, which is important. If you leave your direct opponent, you've got to make sure you impact. Good spoil, John T. That's what you want. Compete in the air. Grock could be wrapped with that. Probably lucky not to give away a high free kick there. G'day, Cameron. Hope you're well, mate. Thank you for joining. Standout so far. Campbell Gray's had a super game down back, to be honest. Massimo Razzo's kicked 3. Samson Ryan's had a pretty decent game up forward. Just maybe lacked a little bit converting. Jasper Alga's been good. Sims just got a goal before, doing well. It's been a pretty good team performance, to be honest. The pressure's been good. Hugo Ralsmith has done okay too. Do I think Nank will go to Tassie? That's a bit of a push. Okay. Just shoved him straight out there. I don't think Nank will be young enough to go to Tasmania. He's probably going to miss out by about 1.5 to 2 years, just because he'll be like 33, 34. He might. Maybe, but I think it might be less likely than likely just because of his age. But maybe it's a 1-year contract to help a young ruckman, potentially. I think he would want to. Oh, McKenzie just drops a long-range bomb. Bang, another goal. Absolutely trouncing the lines at the moment here. Is Sidro playing a full game? That's good. He's a gun. He's going to be a very, very good player. Johnny No Shoes, that's a good shout. Could be a player-coach type role. I think that would be a smart move for Tassie to get him in to do that, to be honest. Herbert, that was 3 weeks for Ryan Mansell. Let's remember that. A shove. Smiley's handed back the GPS. Okay. Damn, that's annoying. Thank you for that, though, Mark. I assume that Morris Rioli's the same, Mark. He obviously handed back the GPS at some point. He's probably as a carryover for AFL. Mackenzie. Is that right? Is it Adeli's brother? Okay. Noah O'Connor's liking what Presti is doing. Is he still very vocal at ground level for those who are there? Nate will join their social media team. Geez, that'd be... You almost got a better chance of Dusty joining Fox, I reckon, than Nate joining a social media team. I like it, though. Another inside 50 entry. Sims flies, no good. He thought he had his arms dropped. Okay, Morris was at the half. Cool, thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Well, the problem is, Johnny, is I don't think there's VFL next week for us. So it's either we play him in the seniors to get continuity, or he has to have a week off. And I'm sure they do match sim and shit like that, but it's not the same, I guess. So that's that's where it gets a little bit interesting with what we do here. Is he conditioned well enough, and has he done enough to warrant selection? Don't know. I thought that too, Warren, when I saw that he's now in a rehab phase for his AC joint. I'm like, well, why did we do that for? It is a good bit of trolling from the club. Yeah, Mark, I reckon Hugo's a good chance to play. And Jones Racing, yeah, look, obviously this is the week of training and match sim for Smiley, but I reckon if you're talking about conditioning and getting match fit, you'd want him to be playing games, I guess, but we just may not have that luxury. Could he play as sub? I'd be pretty shitty if he did, to be honest. I'm not a fan of players playing a sub on their debut game at all. I mean, he could. I would almost rather him play 2.5 quarters at AFL level and then be tactically subbed off than start as sub. But that doesn't always work out that way. Sim's got to compete. No, nowhere near it. It just drifted too far away from him. Yeah, Serple's been really good. And like, I don't want to. I'll touch wood so I don't jinx it. But it's been a much more pleasant change, I think, than what we were used to. Yeah, agreed, Johnny. The debut of subs is no good. Widescreen, don't reckon they'll give him a debut in South Australia? Possibly not. Needs to play a full game of VFL first, Jones Racing. And that's why it's really untimely that we don't have one next week, I guess. Geez, that was a pretty good effort shot at goal from that pocket. Hugo just bursting out of defence. Tell you what, Jonty Fall loves smashing into blokes, doesn't he? He loves that's not a mark. Okay, or in the back. Loves to fly for a big grab, Jonty. I'm all for it too. Legend, yeah, if you go to the AFL website and then go to the VFL Match Centre and you click on the Richmond Brisbane game, there'll be a Watch Now button, so you watch it on the AFL website. As Johnny pointed out. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you. Appreciate all the love and support as well, guys. Oh, Kaczynski just drifting forward. Jonty auditioning for the UFC. Yeah, Moy didn't look good there, did he? Still managed to kick the ball, but didn't look great. I agree, Johnny. Jonty Fall and Armstrong are going to cause some serious headaches just from a physicality perspective, aren't they? Like, if the ball's sitting on top of your head and you're in and around the 50-metre line for us, you know that one of them's going to come running at you and they're going to just smash straight through you. As a Richmond supporter, you'd definitely love to see it. Like, if we're not going to mark it ourselves, bring that ball to ground. As the Lions have moved the ball well here up forward. Oh, smothered. Jeez, I've just made that work there. I'll be back. I've drunk way too much water. Need a bathroom break. Chat amongst yourselves, folks.
Samson Ryan is there, Robertson, and that's the siren. The air horn has gone off. A great quarter for the Tigers. They got going midway through, and they are asserting their dominance on this contest right now. The margin is 40. They led by 25 at halftime, 9 at quarter time, 11-10-76 to 4-12-36. And the multiple goal kickers, Razzo and Yassine for Richmond, and all singles for the Brisbane Lions.
Tazell North's got the 18 disposals, as does Tom McCarthy. Samson Ryan has chipped in with 16 for Richmond. For Brisbane, Tunstall Bristol 18, Aberley 16, so too Henry Smith. But it was all Richmond in that quarter after Brisbane dominated the opening 15 or so minutes. They absorbed the best Brisbane could throw out of Richmond, but they've now got a commanding 40-point lead as we head into the final change.
This VFL stream is brought to you by Amy. Clangers happen. Lucky you're with Amy. Truck Assist. Hard-working truck insurance built for tradies.
No matter where you are, Bunnings Traders here to help. Gemma called me up looking for some product. We can get the order ready for her to just go and pick up from her nearest store. It was simple, easy, and she was back to work straight away.
Trade Assist, if you call them up, they're going to save you time and money.
What did I miss? What did I miss? Because he's gone 4 this quarter. Seems I was crashing packs 2. Good call, Jones Racing.
With the option to cover your tools and machines, it's insurance to keep on earning.
Juno, strongly disagree. That's not a great take, if I'm being honest. You can't call for sacking Uze when he's essentially in his first year of coaching a rebuilt side with bugger all experience. I think you've got to allow a year or two. Yeah. Anyone calling for Uze to be sacked this early is, I think, judging way too harshly and not being realistic. Yeah, Josh Smiley has officially handed in the GPS tracker. He is rested. Twos are going well. Good pressure. Yeah, the pressure's been good, Johnny. It's been good. Smiley's been good, Juno. He's off the ground now, so he's handed in the GPS. So he did 2.5 quarters, almost 3 quarters. He had about 10 or 11 disposals, was really composed with it, made good decisions, released players into space, laid some good tackles, gave away some free kicks early with some very harsh tackles. But yeah, I don't mind him. I think he's done well. It's just annoying that we have no VFL next week. That's a bit shit. Yeah, I only played about 10 minutes that quarter. Yep, managed minutes for sure, which was probably expected, but yeah, it's okay. So looking forward to the AFL game coming up this afternoon at, 4:15 or whenever it is. What's everyone's expectations for that game? Obviously, we're two teams at polar opposites of our football development. We've got Brisbane coming off a premiership, super deep midfield, really solid and established backline, up against us who are, obviously very raw, very young, very inexperienced. But what's everyone's hopes for the game? I mean, if we're all being really honest with each other, I don't think we can expect to win. But I'm kind of hoping we can prolong how long it takes to maybe be broken open is what I'm hoping for. Look, the first half last week against the Saints I thought was promising, but we can't have another third quarter like that. Like, you don't want to just drop away so quickly, so suddenly. So we've got to find a way to drag it out. But we're just very inexperienced and just finding our way. So it's one of those things, I guess. Hopefully keep it under 200 points, Lockie. Hopefully, that'd be nice. Mick, just want to see improvement. Agree. As long as you don't lose by 100. Does that kind of feel like, and I know this is probably not a great target to aim for in some ways, but is that what it feels like in these type of games? Is like under 100 a good result? That sounds scary to say that. What worries me is the trend for the last few weeks. We've gone 72-point loss, 82-point loss, and hopefully we're not looking at a 92-point loss. But they are a seriously good side, Brisbane, so I don't want to sell them short at all. I want to see our big forwards compete strong. I think what will go a long way to us being able to compete, we can't let Harris Andrews and Payne, whoever else is down there, we can't let them double team Tom Lynch, which means that Bauer and Harry Armstrong have to get dangerous, almost to the point where that we have to try and hit them up with passes on the lead to make their defenders pay respect to them so they can't just peel off and sit on Tom Lynch all day. I think that's going to take a bit of the heat off him. Midfield-wise, I want to see some flexibility and some new names in there. I want to see Seth Campbell get a run in there. Steely Green have a run in there. Just mix it up a bit, I reckon. Like, it would be good to see Taranto or Hopper in there for a little bit, of course, but then you wouldn't mind seeing one of them play at half forward, one in the middle, and then swap over. I don't know, just got to throw some magnets. Mix wants Lawler to have a big one. Just want a contest at our home ground. Don't expect the points. Fair call, Craig. Lockie would love to see Armstrong and Lawler hit the scoreboard again. Cameron wants to see us compete for the full 4. Yep, agree. No run of 5 goals against. Widescreen, that would be nice. That would be nice. I agree, Sean. I think we're going to miss Mansell as well. Yeah, he's been like a little bit of a shining light in some ways this year, hasn't he? So not really great timing for the suspension side of things. And like I said, I really felt that he was probably going to be one of our better matchups for Zorko too. So to now not have that is a little bit frustrating as well. Oops. Just moving the scores over to try and centralise them. Yeah, I'm with you, Herbert. Want Sonzi to get some centre bounce attendances, especially if the game at some point's done, right? Like if we're well and truly out of the contest from a scoreboard perspective, I think there's then no reason to not give Sonzi a quarter and a half, whatever it might be, playing in the centre bounce. It's what he does best at VFL level, so why not see what he can do at AFL level? For a prolonged period, I think we have to do that. Crunchy potatoes, score at least 10 goals would be good. It's not a bad shout. I think it's important that we still find ways to score, to kick scores. Like you don't want to be seeing games where you're at, kicking only 40 or 50 points. You want to be hitting that 80, 90 plus mark, don't you? Definitely need improvement going forward for sure. A repeat of the season opener in through the door. Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? That would be very nice. Brisbane Lions get the first point of the last quarter. But you never know. You never know. If they just have a dip for the 4 quarters, you just never know. Good call, Kane. Depending on how Steely goes, Jasper Alga could be someone to come in. I can buy into that for sure. As that kick goes out of bounds. Thank you to everybody for dropping by as well today to watch the VFL game. As Samson Ryan sits under the ball, takes a really nice mark there. He was dropping those in the practice games early days, so that's good to see. Oh no, Hugo. Hugo had to hold that one. Couple of repeat stoppages. Alga has been good. Come out of the game not being Carlton, Caruson. That would be a win of sorts, wouldn't it, really? Yeah, how about the start? Oh, that's a great mark. Who was that? Was that Kaczynski? Yeah, how about the stat that the Lions haven't beaten us at the G since 2009? That's crazy, isn't it? Oh, here we go. They're going to do this not 15 bullshit again today, are they? Great contest again there. Undefeated at home. Kids haven't lost a home game, that's right. Sure, Chris Fagan will be all across making sure they break that hoodoo. Noah will prioritise Sonzi, Dow, Steely, etc. over Kane, Algamo. They won't give the possible players out. Yeah, possibly. And like I think that Dow's actually been doing really well in the games he's played this year. No dog footage available. Oh, no, she ran through before. I don't know where she is. She'll be in here somewhere. Or maybe she ran out. Hopefully we can get on with it this last quarter and kick a couple into the breeze. Short throw in. Be interesting to see if Hugo plays out the rest of the game too. Oh, Samson's giving away a free kick in the ruck. Gee, I reckon they'll both wrestling each other there a little bit. She was barking before, yeah. Well, now I've got to go and get the bloody doozy cans of drink that Grok found. Maybe the doozy's got to be the first can that goes into the stubby holders. As they've slotted a goal, the Brisbane Lions. Long time between drinks. 33 points. Tell you what, they wouldn't want to switch off here and let the Lions back in. That would be disappointing. Do I think Richmond is seen as a destination club like St Kilda? Will players keep clear? It's really hard to say, no, isn't it? I mean, it depends on what the prospective players view as important. Like if they're going off current ladder position and things like that, then yeah, it could be a struggle to sell a story to them. But if they're looking at maybe club culture, the people at the club and things like that, maybe that gives us a sniff. And from what we had kind of heard, that's where Harley Reid was kind of like, it wasn't allegedly that it wasn't more so about ladder position, but more about the ability to have a winning culture and proven history in that area, which we do have. So yeah, if we have a good culture, I think you give yourself a fighting chance to get players. And I don't know what that says about St Kilda exactly, but yeah, we'll be kind of banking on that because our win-loss column definitely won't be appealing. So we have to go another angle, I guess. The raspberry's good, got to try it. Or the lemonade one, that sounds good too. And that's where I think, I know a few people floated up the Zach Butters one as well. What does everyone think about Zach Butters as a potential target? I almost feel like he's 2 years too old for us, and that sounds stupid because he's not that old. But a player of his, I don't know, I feel like we'd want to be 2 years more into our development before getting him on board, whereas I know I've mentioned Harley Reid, but he's younger and can grow with the player. I don't know. I feel like it might be just a little bit different. Yeah, Ed Richards, I know, meant to be a long deal as well, so I'm spewing about that. It would have been good to have had a crack at him, but I think the doggies are doing the right thing and keeping him too. Well, it's a good question, Herb, but I'm not sure. Surely training's still there. I imagine it's just closed on game day because of construction not having crowds there, I would think. Behind for the Lions. Samson's giving away, yeah, I was about to say the same thing, Kane, giving away a couple of free kicks in dangerous spots, which isn't nice. Let's see if we can get a rebound here. Sims, or Razzo, sock off the ground. In the back, surely. Oh. Lockie wouldn't be trying to land a big fish until kids are 22, 23. I think it depends on the age of the fish. Like, if it's a Harley Reid fish who's only 19, turning 20, he can kind of fit in and grow with them as long as it doesn't cost you the world. But like a Butters who's maybe 24, 25 or whatever, then yeah, it's maybe just in the wrong window, isn't it? If it's a good enough deal, I think it's worth it. It provides more protection for young midfielders than Taranto and Hopper. It's a reasonable point, Declan. It's scary then when you see like St Kilda offering squillions of dollars for De Koning, but the guy's going to be, well, he already is a very good player. Great spoil. The Lions have really ramped things up this quarter. We haven't really gotten it past halfway. This will be our first real movement forward, I reckon. Oh, Toner with the inboard kick. Lovely kick to Razzo. Handball's down to Ryan. Oh, God, that hasn't sat for him well at all. Oh, it gets through the big man. Wins held that one up. Fall and Sims down there, but nothing doing. Oh, that's a mark, Ryan, if you grab that. Yeah, nice. Got the punch and then the mark. Nice kick from Samson. Oh, they've played on because of the faked handball. Inside 50 we go.
Pumps it long, but it falls short.
Uncontested mark for the Lions.
What Duday does best.
Oh, it's Duday. There we go. We'll try the green upper one soon. Russ needs to go. Oh, a 9 out of 10 from Russ. Gee, it must be pretty good then. Great kick from Hugo. Sims takes the mark inside 50 for a shot at goal. Ryan's like a giraffe on skates. This would be some kick if he can get this. Into the breeze. I feel like it might hold up a bit here. Tom Sims. From about 47 metres. Oh, another amazing bounce of the ball. Very unlucky we didn't get a hold of that there. Bad exit kick. Good tap from Hugo. Oh, he's under pressure. That could be holding the ball there. Oh, he's done well there to get an inside 50 away. Oh, good mark. Wilson, that's a very good grab. Read that nicely. Didn't think he was any chance to mark that at all. That's a free for chopping the arms, I think. It just held up too much for Jonty Fall to impact that. If the wind was a little bit less, he might have got there in time. Oh, that was nice from the Lions. Oh, Harry Scott, lovely bit of burst of pace. Hugo on the wing. Greystoke, no idea how we're currently paying the minimum required cap. Yeah, it's a good point. It would be interesting to see that. What will be interesting as well is if the AFL introduced being able to buy picks. Good mark, Tom Sims, strong. Moi Moi seems to be okay. Handball's off. That's not really a great spot. Oh! Big fly. No mark. Yeah, if the AFL introduced being able to buy draft picks and things like that, that might be where we end up spending our money potentially until the players start demanding bigger contracts. Oh, it's our free kick. Peppering the inside 50s. Can Jonty Fall get onto one? Very good mark. Well done, Jonty. That's beautiful. Good forward craft. Held him out there nicely. Needs to finish his good work here, Jonty Fall. He's been working hard all day. Come on, Jonty. Oh, the goal umpire's work, but he's got it, I think. Jonty Fall, good reward for effort there. Sims and Jonty have hands that could puncture a ball. That's a fair call, Jones Racing. I like it. Lovely mark. And then Sims earlier as well. Good to see the big men really flying the flag here. Get him in, Trouter. I think we'll see him soon. Like I said before, I feel like that Armstrong was maybe, and same for a lot of the young kids, could be on like a four-week stint in the side. Then we might see Fall and Sims have a crack as well. I reckon Jonty debuts first, Jones Racing. What does everyone else think? Who debuts first? Sims or Fall? Let us know. Grock is claiming Jonty Fall as his own. This has been a pretty good game from us. Hayes Brown in the ruck. Let's see what the big man can do. The snack pack. If we can just replicate this in a couple of hours, that'd be wonderful. Great mark. Chris Herbert, how do we get Fall, Sims, Razzo, Razzo, Wilson, Yassine, and Gray to the seniors next week? Well, we might struggle with 3 of those names. Just roll them over now. Don't worry about next week. Just send them in now. Toshe Legacy, agree. Oh, snack pack. Oh, no, man in front. It's annoying, but that's fair enough. Kano reckons Fall. Grok, you did. You did call Jonty Fall earlier, I must admit. Definitely did. Cosy chopped an arm there. Larrikin reckons Fall for Armstrong. I can see that happening as the Lions kick a goal. Something out of nothing. I'm Scruffy. How good is Jonty's kick a goal technique? Beautiful low ball drop. He's a nice kick. I think he missed one earlier that he would have liked to have had back, but attacks the contest well and finished nicely before, which was good. Groc's been on the Jonty bandwagon for 12 months. Declan, did we rate Fall higher than Armstrong, or did we no other clubs rated Fall higher than Armstrong? I think it's a combination of both. From what Grok has told us a few times, he'll probably write it again in chat, that the club are really hot on Jonty Fall for a while. They rated him as the best key forward in the draft. I think they felt that Sydney might have gone after him, if I'm not mistaken. And then as the draft got on, it just so happened to be that the clubs that were in the selection range for Armstrong didn't need a key forward. So he was able to slip, which was good. Hayes Brown with a nice little tap over the head there, but nothing really happening for us out in the middle. And we've done this without Kane McAuliffe in the middle either. Yeah, Sydney had Fall high and GWS, yeah. I do remember the Sydney teams were really keen. So I'm glad we picked him up. Oh, jeez, that could have easily been paid a mark. Still a good crowd at Punt Road. I agree, no, Hotton's going to be good. I really want him to be our next Shane Edwards. But we'll have to show a little bit of patience, I guess, with him. Yeah, he'll get back into the program mid-year, I guess, and we'll see some VFL time, no doubt, first before AFL. You'd love to see him get a couple of games at the end of the season, though, at the top level. Grok says, Fall was our number 1 forward target. Sydney wanted Fall. We felt there was more chance of Armstrong slipping later than what Fall would, so we took Jonty early. Turns out that Blair was spot on there. Oh, Sims. Have they paid the mark? Big Sims. Love it. Jesse has it going. Who's been man of the match so far? They've all been pretty good. Like Massimo Razzo's kicked 3. Jonty Fall's been good. Sims as a big man's been good. Jasper Alga's been pretty solid. Smiley had I don't think Smiley was among the best, but he had a relatively good hit out. They took him off just before, like, at the start of the quarter. Who would everyone else have as best on ground for us? It's been a pretty good team effort, to be honest. Sims kicks it behind. Agreed, Johnny. Nothing better than seeing the big men holding on to the marks. Campbell Gray's probably one of our best as well. As another good one. Playing as a defender. If you're watching, guys, and you haven't yet subscribed, feel free to hit that subscribe button. There should be a little grey YouTube badge in the bottom right corner. It'll give you an easy little pathway in just to keep up to date with all the Richmond live shows and our Monday night live show and all the other lives and videos we do in between. We're tracking towards 2,500. And we've also got a Discord channel that we've just opened up as well. I should find the link for that, shouldn't I? Will that give me a link? No idea if this will work. Oh, no. Why didn't that work? I want to invite people. Invite.
Yellow jumpers everywhere. Mackenzie, that handball smothered. They're still trying here, the Lions. Robertson.
That's annoying.
Off the boot. Elnor, couple of players down.
Anyway, we've got a Discord channel going now. So I posted it on Facebook and Twitter. So if you want to join the Tigercast Discord, feel free to find the link there and jump in. Yeah, Sims maybe does have a bit of JR8 in him. Old reddish hair, can take a big mark. Loves to have a shot for goal. Oh, Cozzy smashed as he kicked it. Stayed in though. Good grab. Toner's been okay. G-Van, yeah, they do. You're right. It's a really good call. They all play for each other. And I think it's good that there's really strong buy-in from the VFL program boys as well. They seem to have a pretty good cohesiveness about them, don't they? Geez, that was unlucky for the Lions not to get a mark there. Elga with a handball out to Razzo. Weaves through traffic. Collier inside 50. Oh, not smothered. Yassine. No, out in the full. Oh, no, it bounced. Can he sing? That's a good point, Johnny. It's a very good point. Oh, no, I think the Razzo thing's going to be the whole theme until mid-year, isn't it? Like, how do we get him? How do we get him?
Back out on the ground. Give that one another hit out to him, Beacon. They work their way through. Well done there, Arnold.
Oh, great spoil.
This is going to come straight back in again.
I thought he was going to smash straight into him. He actually did well just to get the ball.
Under pressure.
Razzo with a good tackle.
Going in there again. And the ball will be tossed up.
I think what's impressed me with this game, it's been how well we've set up behind the ball. Like anytime Brisbane have gotten a clearance kick from the back half, we've actually had really good positioning behind the play to have another forward 50 entry. And it's something that you'd love to see more at AFL level as well.
Building something nice here. We'll go to 3-0 on the season.
Number 63 looks like a Smiley's mini-man. That's a good call. I've been thinking that as the game's gone on, Greystoke. It's a good point.
That they had at the club.
Sims with the ruck work. Gets a little cheeky handball out. Could be a hold on a Brisbane player there, though.
It's going to be a Lions free kick, though. It is. Hoffman's to take it. Well, they want to get things moving quickly, but they can't.
Surely we're in a pretty good spot here from a score perspective.
In defence, Lloyd.
Oh, that's a...
Middle of the ground.
Wow. Dangerous kick inboard, but that's why those 45-degree kicks can work.
Good kick. And having to wait an eternity was Ryan. Having not to wait an eternity is Gardner. He'll stroll in and kick the goal.
Good chase from Elga. He ran a long way to try and impact both of those contests.
Gardner.
And Gardner's just looking at him. What are you doing, young kid? Well done, Jasper.
Waited for some teammates to get around him. Not too many were keen to travel all that way.
Jasper Elga's just flattened him.
But 84 plays 56.
And I suppose, Kane, there's something in there that we look tired because we've lost, obviously, 2 rotations with Smiley and Rioli Jr. off pretty early. Johnny, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. So I guess you're down some rotations in the midfield, so it probably does make sense that we tire. Future midfielder Smiley, Reed Dersma. Gee, that would be nice, wouldn't it, Noah? Or Jones Racing, which of the Big Footy Tigercast panel will be best suited to having Smiley's haircut? Oh, I mean, you'd have to say EJ or Grok, I imagine. EJ or Grok would have to maybe get a wig of some kind, but I think that would suit them. Scruffy loves Sim's second and third efforts, agree, always looks engaged. That's what you want. You just want your bigs to be ultra competitive.
The fact that the AFL team was going to have the bye, but of course, events unfolded.
Samson Ryan with a clearance.
Ryan's high kick. Leading the race to it is Lloyd. Switch behind the
See, it's like those ones where they get skied like that you'd love to see a bit more of a contest to bring it to ground. Oh, that's a free kick.
Lob it again.
Wilson, one of the shortest
Dave the Dasher, how are you, mate? What's going on?
tallest on the ground.
50 metres as well.
Been absolutely clobbered today, Henry Smith. And he stood up to the challenge.
Grog, not enough hair for you.
He's not their best player today.
Oh, if Big Footy Tigercast did a magazine, so I laugh. I'll tell you why I laughed in a second. Who would make the best centerfold? It has to be Tiggs in the leather pants. I think that's undisputed. The reason I laugh though is I'll share this because I don't think it'll eventuate. But CB did ring me one day while I was at work, and we legitimately discussed the idea of releasing a Big Footy Tigercast calendar with some piss take photos and things like that. We just didn't know how it would logistically work, and if everyone would be happy to do weird photos and things like that. But we did genuinely have about a 25-minute chat about how we could make a calendar work. It might have been last year. I think we talked about it. Dave Smiley was good. He was good. He's been off for the last quarter and a bit, but he had about 12 or 13 disposals. Really good in traffic, composed with the ball, laid some good tackles, got some clearances. But definitely did some nice things and better for the run for sure.
25 minutes gone.
The hair, I got plenty of shit about my hair, don't I? Or lack thereof. Disappearing as the weeks get on, I reckon, right? Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Kane. It's not, you want to see us steady the ship a little bit. But to your point earlier, there could be some pretty tired legs out there. Yeah, EJ laying on the piano. Yeah, things like that. Yeah. And a lot of it could have been Photoshop jobs to make that kind of appearance happen. But yeah, we did talk about it.
Continuing to tick down.
Maybe that's a now hear me out.
Down on VFL footy at this venue for 2025. Redevelopment works to get underway.
Michael Ledio.
Again, wrapped up
Yeah, no, I didn't mind trying to copy the Lids hairstyle back in the day with the blonde tips.
memories. The stand that we're in right now.
Don't think I could pull it off now, though.
Over the years.
I'd fear if they pulled my hair through that little cap, they might pull the hair out. They're my worry.
Free kick. That's going up and under
Hugo. Oh, no one really committed to that marking contest there.
ball. Offerman's just
Definitely want to see us
teammate in front. Robertson went.
hold firm here for the last few minutes as we get a high tackle free kick.
Taken a little bit too high. And this will be the thing now. The Tigers can just take their time.
Might see some chipping the ball around. G'day, Dan. Yeah, it's improved, hasn't it? And we've still got, I think someone who might end up being really unlucky along the journey could be a Tyler Young, who's obviously coming back from the knee injury. But, when Gibkiss is back, you've got Campbell Gray doing good things. Even, I know he probably won't get a crack in the seniors, but even Kaczynski's doing a really good job down in defence too at the moment.
Going to get the handball received.
So, but to your point, our stocks down there are pretty good.
He's got some
But, if Gibkiss comes back mid-year, oh, good spoil.
did well. He's been sensational.
Elnor, great. And Elnor as well for the VFL, good down back too. But yeah, when Gibkiss comes back, it could create a bit of a conundrum with how we play some of these players. Someone may have to go forward. Who'd suit the mullet the best? I reckon CB would suit the mullet the best. Yeah, Elnor's been good, Kane. I'm with you, mate. He's been very good. Grok sitting on a throne of Brookvale or hard rated, just like a 10 high case of hard rated.
Had a real inopportune time around the mid-season draft last year.
Oh, thank you for that, Craig. Crows are up 22-9 early days. Gold Coast are up. I might have to try and watch that. Although I do think I've got to go to Aldi shortly. I haven't eaten either. Starving. Tiggs sitting outside the PC shop. Oh, Jonty! Good mark. He is dangerous up forward.
Shove is being cleared up just at Brisbane's half forward line.
Come on, Jonty. Get yourself another.
For goal number 3.
Oh, Have I missed putting on a goal here? Brisbane, I think I did.
New draftees for Richmond this year. He was
Apologies to the Brisbane fans watching. This calendar is happening. Scruffy's all about the ball drop here.
Coates Talent League Grand Final last year. Was in the Coates Talent League Team of the Year.
Oh, he's just slid it across the face. You'd love to see Jonty get a bag here. Oh, there's plenty of embarrassing photos going around. We wouldn't be short of content, I don't think, Grant. Dangerous kick. Oh, geez, he made it work though, didn't he? If you had to pick, but oh, Samson Ryan's. Oh, Campbell Gray's just smashing people. If we had to miss out on either Elnor or Razzo, who would you rather get out of those two? If you had to leave one on the table, I think I would rather Razzo, only because to the points earlier, because our key depth stocks aren't so bad. I feel like we can afford to not get Elnor more than we can afford to not have Razzo. If we had to pick. CB in a Carlton jumper as punishment for his votes. He's got to lift his game, CB. You can't just keep cropping votes. The integrity of the Tigercast Player of the Year is at stake here. Everyone's wanting Razzo. Kane, J. Martin, Razzo, 10 times better. Oh, good pressure. The siren couldn't be far away, I don't think. Speaking of the man. Oh, Elga. Oh, ran out of space. Marley. No one's actually scared of you. 30 minutes gone. Take Bo Shane. Fair call. We need 2 picks, though, in 2 spots. That's the issue. Lions pushing forward. Good defending in. Campbell Gray. Take a bow. One of our best today. Easily. Long quarter. Jesus. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in today. Appreciate all the love and support and the talk footy. It's been good fun. Hopefully you enjoyed the live watch along for the VFL game. Hopefully you enjoyed the graphic display, the scoreboard, the time. Hopefully it all worked well. If you've got any feedback or comments, good or bad, let us know, because I'm always trying to find ways to improve it as the siren goes. Great win from the VFL team. I missed a Brisbane point. Yeah, let us know any feedback, good, bad, or ugly. It's good fun doing these games. It's obviously a shame that we can't put the game on the stream, obviously for legal reasons. But yeah, hopefully it'll come across fine. And yeah, the graphic stuff was nice little automated scoreboard. So hopefully we can do things like this a bit more using maybe this method. We'll have to work out how to get the Discord cameras onto the screen, Grok, but we can work through that. But yeah, thanks already for tuning in. Thank you to everybody who subscribed as well. Much appreciated. It's been good fun. So always good to chat footy with you all. Have a great rest of the day, everybody. Those who are going to the footy this afternoon, enjoy. Hopefully we see much of the same from the AFL boys. It'd be nice to get a similar result. But yeah, I'm sure they'll have a crack for all 4 quarters. But have a great afternoon, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you on Monday night for the live show. So until then, go Tigers.